controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix, so that devil politics mix. And when I fudge, you laugh punk. Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, back out. Tell me what's in front of ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, black up. Tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time. So you better get some better views and get paid for all your time. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabblers blasting out the political shit. The bashing for shit, put bounce in the dabble pit. Pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up, pull your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, back out. Tell me what you're gonna ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 Hey ladies, where you at? Hey fellas, where you at? And the dabblers that don't give a fuck, where you at?
What's up, everybody? OG Mumbling Nick here for, I guess I'll call this a dabbling in politics, since that's the intro I played. I should have played a different one, but fuck it. Special unofficial Friday night dabbling in politics, discussing protests. Are they riots? Are they not? Do you blame the cops? Do you blame the protesters? Do you blame a British fucking pineapple? You know, do you blame Trump? We'll figure it out. But here to help me is Ekul Pineapple. How we doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Nick. Thanks so much for finally having me on. I've been asking for months.
Yeah, emailing me like crazy. Yeah.
Finally give me the thumbs up. Yes, I have a pet, Retina Asylum. I have a pet, and it is a sausage dog. That's good.
All right. So, yeah, I've been trying to get Ekul on. Jesus Christ, I just had a stuttering jaw. Wanted to get Ekul on for a little bit. We were originally gonna do something on, what was it? I forget. Oh
Blacks.
Yeah, cancel culture. Yeah, blacks.
Oh yeah.
And but we figured we had a little. I think we got a little, not dust up, but whatever, a little back and forth in the chat on this subject. So I thought it'd be interesting. I have to let everyone know Ekul wants me to be biased on this. It's not what I really wanted. He did message me to say I have to show both sides being bad. That's what the mainstream media does, Ekul. That's what they do. He didn't ask me to get the truth. He asked me to show both sides being bad. So
I said, Nick, if you get a load of clips that just show one side, I'm going to call you out. And that, I feel like we might have that today, guys, but we'll see.
No. Wait till you get a load of this first clip, buddy. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Special for you. As soon as I can find it. Which one do I want? Yeah, this one. Okay. So
UK police.
yeah. We're gonna see how it's done in other countries first. How it's supposed to be done. In your country. So I think we can both agree, hopefully, that at least American law enforcement is supposed to de-escalate. That's what they're supposed to do. It doesn't normally happen, but they're supposed to de-escalate these situations. So let's see briefly how the UK handled a situation where they probably had every right to fucking go after this guy. Let's just say he's waving around a fucking machete.
Let's see what these pussies do. Go on.
Yeah, let's see what these bobbies do here.
Look at how cops in the UK de-escalated a genuinely dangerous situation.
From the UK, an amazing video for edged weapon training. London police engage with a distraught man wielding not scissors or a knife, but a machete, all captured on a smartphone from across the street.
His ability
By the way, he'd already be dead in the U.S. He'd already be over. Boom, shot,
No.
Nichols, shot.
I already want to call you out. If this was
Go
in
ahead.
the US, he would have already shot 3 people because he would have had a gun.
All right, you got me there. You got me there.
Mhm.
But we'll just pretend he had a machete. In Florida, they carry around machetes. This could be Chad. This could be Joey C. This could be John running around with a fucking machete.
to move is not completely obstructed by either the officers or by the vehicles, but he is more or less surrounded. You can see the man pacing around on the street or moving forwards and backwards, side to side, front and back, each of them trying to continue to verbally de-escalate the situation over a period of time. You could probably say they've contained him without restraining him. And they keep this situation going backwards and forwards for some minutes whilst other officers are bringing what we would call public order shields to the location. And in a coordinated movement, they move towards him so that there's no way he's been able to use that weapon or go anywhere else. He's ended up placed on the ground with the use of the shields, the weapon's taken from him, and then he's stood up and handcuffed and detained.
The incident ends with a man taken to hospital.
Do you think that man would have survived in North America?
No, he wouldn't have survived. Would have survived a couple of minutes, probably.
So, Mr. Ekul, see, when you have the numbers, right? And when you have equipment that doesn't look like you're about to invade Fallujah, sometimes that's what you can do. You know what I mean? You don't, there's no, I only think these guys should like use deadly force or when absolutely have to. And
put us full screen. Let's have a little chat. Go on. Put us full screen.
Okay, let's fucking boot this fucking asshole. Beat it, you fucking Brit.
There you go.
Yeah. So
Right.
go on.
Okay. So what you're suggesting is you should have a ratio of 30 cops to every criminal that you have. Do you think that's going to be physically possible in the US out of interest?
Well, not always, but what I'm saying is, like in some of the videos or clips we're gonna watch, there's gonna be people completely unarmed, sometimes with their hands in the air, and the guy's like, I'm just gonna spray this
like
chemical
they just don't
weapon.
care.
What do you mean you
Yeah,
just don't
for
care?
sure. No, like they just don't care. It's from a song.
Oh.
But anyway,
my bad, my
sorry.
bad.
Yeah,
Woo.
yeah.
I'm white as shit, dude. You can't use the
So
rap shit on me.
your example you've got is there's a man with obvious issues with a machete who has let's play it down a bit. He has 15 police officers surrounding him who are tactically de-escalating. Yeah, so brilliant. Well done. Very, very good job.
Perfect.
What you've got to understand is you live in a different country to us. We are comparing apples to oranges.
Well,
The scenario there,
Yeah.
I'm sure you have guys with machetes. Yep. But you also have guys who have machetes who will then maybe pull out a gun. So it's not the exact same
You
thing.
can't just assume everyone has a gun.
Why? You sell it in Walmart. Why would I not assume everyone has a gun? I would literally always assume when we're in America and someone cuts us up, we just go right ahead. Sorry for being in your way. We don't say anything because if they pull over and take out a gun, I'll be like, yeah, guns, they're a thing. I forgot about it. So yes.
One of the videos I was hoping to find, I didn't pull this British one up until the end, and I was like, oh, I'll start off with this, his own country, throw his own country in his face. But there was a story. This guy had a screwdriver, and the guy's own mother or wife called the cops because he's like, yeah, he's mentally ill. I think he's going to try and hurt himself.
Yes.
And they show up, they see the screwdriver, and they just put a couple bullets in him.
Yeah.
So
I think the problem is, so the people over in the UK, they have a screwdriver. Yeah, we've got a screwdriver. Yeah, and we're screwing in these screws one by one, and that's all that's needed. But in America, you've got that drill. You've got the little drill that can just put them straight in. And the problem is, you use that all the time. So you're obviously, even for the jobs where you maybe don't need that drill, you're like, I'm gonna use it anyway because like fuck you using the screwdriver. Like who even uses a screwdriver anymore apart from to stab people when you're mentally ill, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Thank you, Written Asylum. Always here to back me up. Yeah, there's God, there was one. Geez, this is shit I should have pulled up. If I knew Ekul was gonna make this argument.
I don't know what Written Asylum said. You just showed it up on the screen and
I
then
figured
you
you can
responded
read.
to it.
That's disgusting, Nick. I agree. Police are mostly retards with the guns. I think he's talking about the screwdriver scenario.
Sure.
Yeah, there was another one, and this one I don't really blame the cops, but the good cop got punished, which always made me mad. There was a situation where this guy was suicidal. The cops were called. He had a gun. The cop that showed up was formerly in the military, and he recognized this guy was trying to do suicide by cop. Like even the person that called him was like he's suicidal. Yeah, so he's trying to get the cop to shoot him, right? And the cop recognizes that, so he won't fucking do it. Then backup shows up and blows the guy away, and that cop got in trouble for not shooting the guy because he was armed. So
Yes.
this is, without getting too much off a tangent here, this is what defund the police was supposed to be about. But the fucking Democrats are so stupid.
retarded.
So listen,
How can you not be like that was one of the stupidest things that I had to pretend to agree with? Defund the police, yeah. Take all the money away from the police and just hope everyone stops being a criminal.
that's not what
happens
that's what
all
I'm
the
saying.
time.
The Democrats are the worst at like naming things
Whoa.
and selling things. Yeah, Liquid and I have had this discussion. They don't know how to fucking. It's an awful name for something because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like take all the money away from the cops and fuck them. But
It sounds like you're saying defund the police, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Well, the U.S. police they have too much money for these little fucking toys. You know, they don't need to act all this fucking armor and all this shit. So it was like, hey, let's use some of that money and we'll hire some, mental health people. So next time a guy who's got a screwdriver, we'll send a cop and a fucking mental health person, so the dude don't end up shot.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Right. So, if you were asked, to be a police officer, yeah. So let's say we're in a scenario where we're in a small, where it's an apocalypse, yeah, and there's like 100 people left, 100 people left, and you're in this like village with these 100 people, and they go, Nick, we need someone to make sure people aren't stealing supplies, aren't doing stuff. We need someone to kind of keep order here, and we want you to do it. And you're like, okay, cool. And then they went, Nick, good news. Everyone around here has guns, but to make sure it's a bit harder for them to just shoot you, we're going to give you some better armor than they've got, some better guns than they've got, and a better vehicle so you can stay in control and have the upper hand, essentially. Would you kind of be like, that's cool? Or would you be like, no. Let's give them some therapy and just leave me with what they have and hope that the therapy doesn't get me shot in the back.
Dude, that's
Is that what
apples.
you would do?
That's apples to
No, that's
oranges.
not. That's not apples to oranges. That's not
oranges.
whatsoever. That's not whatsoever. You're saying no way. The police who risk their life to do their job should have the same as what the criminals on the street have, or worse, because we should just pay for therapy.
Dude,
Yeah,
what do
pay
you
for
think
therapy.
America
Knock yourself
is?
out.
You think America's worse than I do, dude.
Pew, pew, pew,
You think everyone's got fucking Kevlar and everything?
When I think of America, pew, pew, pew. That's what I think of.
The problem is the gun nuts are fucking crazy. Like I forget the statistic, but yeah, I think it's like a quarter of I know I'm gonna fuck it up, but
Thank you.
no, not even
Thank you,
half of all
Chris.
Americans own guns. It's just the ones that own guns. They own a
The
fucking
true
million
host.
of them, dude. They got thousands of these fucking things. So
Liquid
what I'm saying is,
Cryptid,
yeah,
the proper host of this channel made a very good point.
what co-host? This fucking guy?
Yeah.
What's up, Liquid?
What Ekul
No.
said is exactly why cops have all like, thank you, Liquid. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's why we have special cops that come in with the gear,
Well-
not these fucking regular cops. Like,
Written Asylum, I reckon you have more than one and you won't disclose how many you have. That's what I reckon. There you go. That helps.
Ekul, how many
Okay.
think I have?
None.
Oh,
You're
you
like,
got- you
if
got me.
someone if someone comes to my house, I'm gonna go, hey man, hey, I went protesting. Oh, please don't do that to my family. Oh, ouch, that really hurts. But that's your right because I've got white privilege. That's the end of that conversation.
Shows what you know. I got a baseball bat, dude. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, that's going to help you against their guns, isn't it? That's going to be great.
Luckily for me, I'm on the second floor now. I think they're going to be too lazy to come up here. They're just going to kill the people below me. Yeah.
See, Nick and I agree on that one. Black people are lazy. They won't be able to come to the second floor. Good point.
They are athletic. They could run up here pretty quick, though. I forgot about that.
Not the ones with the guns.
No, the point I'm making, dude, is like we get different calls. Like we have something called dispatch, right? And if so,
Dispatch?
So if the dispatcher's like, hey, we got a call and these guys are heavily armed, yeah, they're gonna. That's when you send that's when you send in the Kevlar guys who are wearing fucking holy shit, I can't think of the word. Camouflage for some fucking reason, even though they're in the city.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Sure.
Okay. If you did a Freaky Friday kind of body swap thing and you woke up and you was in the body of a police officer, and for some reason you had to go out and work a day as a police officer, every time you pull someone over, would there be a part of you being like, I really hope they don't have a gun. I really hope they don't shoot me. I really hope they're not one of those fucking psychos that are going to pull a gun out of me and fucking shoot me. Will that be something that would run through your head if you had to, just a day as a normal cop? Would that run through your head?
I don't know. I mean,
would you be like, hey man, we're all equal here,
dude? I'm not a hippie, dude.
Hey, dude, I'm not a hippie, dude.
Fucking dude, no. Like I'm guessing they might be more like that. Like if you're trigger happy, you shouldn't be a fucking cop.
Nick, would you feel like that if in this Lindsay Lohan movie that I'm setting up for you, you're
of course you know a Lindsay Lohan movie, dude. Your wife makes you watch crap.
Of course. Would you be like, I really don't want to do this job today. I don't want to go around getting people to undo their window and seeing if a gun pops out at me.
Dude, you're more afraid of guns than me, bro. No, I'm
terrified. Luckily, I live in England where they're not legal, apart from for farmers.
I assume these fucking farmers. Number one, I wouldn't bother people for traffic violations unless they were fucking.
Nick's a pussy. If Nick was in that scenario, I'm not arresting anyone. Everyone's fine.
No.
I'm not arresting anyone.
That's bullshit just to give fucking working class people tickets. Oh, you were going 55 in a 47 or whatever the fuck. I'm not doing that to people. I'm not. So no, I'm only pulling over like real criminals. So maybe I would, because that's the only type of people I would fucking pull over.
And that's the honest answer. That's the honest answer. But yes. Anyway, go on, Nick. Sorry. I saw there's a celebrity in the chat trying to outshine me, asking for the link.
Ava, I always give you the Sunday. You get the links. Hey, you were just on with Jake. What, he boot you? I hope he didn't get the MLC link again. That little snake. I hopefully you can come on Sunday, Ava. This was just something we had planned. This one-on-one little quickie show.
Boys only. Sorry, Ava. Lads over here. Sorry.
But I think we might have the Krishan on. It might be a Scream Fest on Sunday. Might be 2-on-2 action. Yeah.
Giggity.
2-on-2. Yes, Ava's fantastic. And normally 100%. Oh, now I feel bad. I appreciate. Yeah. Hopefully this will be more entertaining. Last time Ava watched me in a debate, she started shitting on me in the fucking in the chat.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
It was hilarious.
Oh, but you can give me all the good ideas in chat so I can climb in right now.
All right. Well, we'll go to the next clip. Since I'm gonna be overly fair to you, Pineapple, since you are fucking
2-0 to Ekul, by the way, at the moment, guys. I'm keeping
2-0. Dude, you think everyone has a gun? That's not a fucking excuse.
Everyone has a gun. Everyone has a gun. 2-0.
Dude, no. Hold on. Before we move on.
2-0.
You can't assume everyone has a fucking gun.
Everyone
shoot a guy with a fucking
screwdriver. Everyone has a gun.
Hey, dispatch, we got a guy armed with a screwdriver and that's it. Well, I assume he has a gun somewhere on him, so I'm gonna fucking shoot him anyway.
Dispatch, what color is he? He's African American. Shoot, or you're getting suspended.
We haven't even got to the fucking protest part yet. The fucking whole point of this whole fucking thing. All right. So we're gonna go to your favorite Fox News, right? Oh, you know what? I got some Sky News in here too. You watch that garbage? Those people are fucked up.
Nick, you must know this by the fact how little I involve myself with politics when you talk about it. I don't watch the news.
No
I
news.
watch X and YouTube. No.
Oh, they get similar accents to you. Close enough. You know what I mean? Aussie guy shit. All right. So this is Fox News, right? So let's hear how they talk about these LA protests. And since you want to see both sides, I pulled this up for you. All right. Then we can shit all over this fucking nonsense. Here we go.
News alert. Areas of Los Angeles are now under a curfew from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. as protesters have been clashing with police for days. House Republicans have already launched an investigation into Governor Gavin Newsom and LA Mayor Karen Bass for failing to contain the chaos, while the far left media is now running cover for the protesters.
Far left means corporate media, by the way. There is no far left media.
Don't try to change what I'm hearing. Let me hear it and then try to change it.
Okay. I just want you to watch, right?
Far left.
No.
Left media.
Let me lay this out for you. They're mocking how the reporters call this mostly peaceful. Now, let me know how much violence you actually see in these clips. Here we go.
Okay.
I want to reiterate, this looks very intimidating. This has remained 100% peaceful as far as I have seen. They're messing with the horses. Guys, let's go. Let's back up here. Whoa. Let's go.
Whoa, what are they doing?
Yeah, who's shooting pepper balls? Who's shooting pepper balls? The police.
Trying to defend the police trying to defend those poor people from those people that are throwing stuff. That's terrible. Go on, Karen.
LA burns, and the media is insisting that everything is peaceful.
As you can see here, this is a peaceful protest. We the people serve no king. How you guys feeling?
Horrible.
Horrible. What was it like to hear those flashbangs just now?
Unnecessary. It was peaceful. We were in front of the federal building. We were peaceful.
Throughout the entire time we've been out here, people chanting, singing, dancing, remaining peaceful as they make their thoughts known, their voices heard on the Trump administration.
And it's not just LA. Anti-ICE riots continue to raid across the country. Last night, police...
So this is a riot, okay? This is a riot. You see people standing there with their phones, and then you see tear gas that the police threw at people who aren't even moving.
In Seattle were forced to use tear gas to protect themselves while rioting.
What?
That's probably why they threw it, to disperse the crowd, mate, to disperse them.
So that's not a riot. If you're just standing there, that's not a riot.
They didn't go, hang on, these people haven't moved in the last 2 minutes. Throw some tear gas. They were probably like, let's get rid of these people.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to get
God bless America. Trump
broke into an ICE
2028.
facility. Multiple police...
Look at it. This is Ava's home, Portland.
Police officers were reportedly injured there. Now we're starting to learn more about the people involved in these riots.
All right, here's an actual criminal, probably. So here's your one moment.
It's like this gentleman, illegal alien Emiliano Garduna Garcia. He was arrested for throwing a Molotov cocktail at an ICE officer in LA. These riots are all in support of the illegal migrants nabbed by ICE, whose crimes span from human smuggling to lewd acts with a child. And the left still insists that these protests are peaceful.
So I am 100% in due process.
They should be allowed to stay in America.
No, if they're guilty of all that shit, if they're guilty of that shit, go. But by the way, oh God, fucking Jake. By the way, yeah, some of the January 6ers that Trump pardoned, there's some fucking pedophiles in there, but he's fine with that. Yeah, I'm not fine with this. No,
Wait,
I'm
are
not
you
fine
telling
with
us
this.
that everyone's the same and there's good and bad people on every side? No, Nick. Jesus, don't tell me.
But why did he pardon those people? I'm not saying to pardon this fucking... If this guy threw a Molotov cocktail...
Maybe because he likes PDFs, mate. Have you considered that?
He is a PDF. Well, thank you for agreeing on that. Donald Trump is a PDF, according to Ekul Pineapple. Wow. Fucking mark it down.
You know, Dr. Siegel...
Protests have been largely peaceful, and much of the violence has been that does exist, has been provoked by the presence of officers on the streets. That was completely unnecessary.
To say the city is burning is an insult. It's all a farce.
I flew over each one of them, and they were overwhelmingly peaceful.
And the media is pushing the same false narrative. A study from the Media Research Center shows that from June 11th to the 12th, CNN and MSNBC personalities insisted the anti-ICE demonstrations were peaceful 211 times.
Say it one more time.
200.
Shocking.
All right,
That is
Ekul.
shocking.
All right, Ekul.
Okay.
So let me ask
Mhm.
you, where
Yep.
were the riots? They're the whole segment, right, is supposed to show that the media is lying. No, mind you, I
Wait.
hate CNN and MSNBC, but the
Sure,
whole
sure,
thing
sure.
is that the media is lying when it says it's peaceful, and then it showed
Mm.
peaceful protests besides like the police throwing tear gas at people that weren't moving.
Mm. Sure.
So they were peaceful.
What you're saying is that the left-wing media who were recording this didn't record any of the bits where the left wing were being aggressive. They were just showing the peaceful bits. Yeah, I agree. They
No,
were,
dude. Every time there was a fucking,
they were only shooting the
no.
bits that made
Number
them look
one,
like, yeah, you're right.
why doesn't Fox News show it? They get their own fucking people.
Because they were showing the stuff recorded by the left. The left were
But if you're
reporting
trying
it,
to make the point
and
that
saying 211 times.
if you're trying to make the point that it's not peaceful, wouldn't you show it not being peaceful?
Well, you'd have to say we're going to do a different segment now. We were going to do a segment on the left are saying that these are peaceful protests. Here are some clips of them saying it. You'd have to say this is our own footage that we've got, which contradicts it. You're right. And I believe we saw a minute or two of that clip. I don't know if they then later show clips of going, this is the peaceful protest they're talking about. And there's like, death to the cops. Kill all white people.
No. All right. Hold on.
Biden 2028.
I still have it.
2028.
No, I don't want to waste time watching it, but watch the scroll. Ready? All they do is talk. They don't show any more fucking shit. See?
Wow.
Yeah. Oop. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Proof.
So, and what's fucked is, there is some footage of like people throwing these bricks. Yeah.
Wait. What about the Molotov cocktail?
They didn't even show it. Dude,
They didn't even catch that on camera. Therefore, it didn't happen.
No, they said allegedly. No, mind you, if the guy's
Allegedly.
guilty, yeah, absolutely. Due process. If he's guilty, toss him, kick him, send him wherever you want to send him.
Only if it was recorded on camera and put on the clip that we just watched. Apart from that,
I'm not going to believe some lying fucking officer. I mean, I hope they have some kind of fucking proof.
Yeah, no,
I hope they have
assume
some
they're all
kind
the
of
same,
proof.
right?
You know what I mean?
That's what we assume, right, Nick? We think of someone who is known as one thing and we judge them all the same based on our preconceived notions of them. We think, I know a story about a certain type of people who is a police officer. So all police officers are like that. They like chicken. They like watermelon. These police officers.
Oh no, you're thinking of
you're
something
racist.
else.
You're
thinking of your Juneteenth special you did yesterday.
You're racist against police officers.
I don't like. You know, it's like my grandfather's badge is right there too. He's probably mad at me. Up in heaven if there was such a place.
Well, no, Nick. If he was a police officer, he'd be in hell, right? Because
100%. Yeah. Might be. So here's the problem, dude. I agree. I've actually met some good cops, but the good cops they let the bad cops get away with shit. So how good can they be? That old adage, you know what I mean?
Guilty by association. Yeah. 100%.
No, if you're not willing to stop a fucking bad cop, how good can you be?
Yeah. If there's one rotten apple, the whole bunch is rotten, right?
Hey,
that's the way it works.
Off stage, I showed you what them cops did to my beautiful face. You saw that.
Yeah. What you didn't mention was you was trying to curb stomp on a 14-year-old white boy's head because he said Trump. That's what you didn't reveal.
Number one, that was a George Floyd protest. There wasn't no Trump protest.
Trump.
All right. I don't know, dude. Should we watch more right wingers? I could show you. Ava can back me up. Ava, Jimmy Dore's right wing, right? Just so when we get to the Jimmy Dore shit, that fucking guy.
Let me see. I'll be able to work it out. I'm not a retard.
Oh, he's super right wing. But first, I'll I'm getting all Muslim on you. Yeah, we'll watch something else first. Let's see what these nice police do to which one do I want to watch? Since I can't watch them all.
Wait, just a minute. Was the clip that you played of Fox Media going, there were loads of riots and then you not seeing any riots? Was that your proof of being, I've showed both sides. This is nice and fair.
No, dude. I get you said look up right wing media. Did I not? Is Fox News not right wing media? Right?
Right.
Did
I was
the
saying, show me examples of both. I didn't say find a bad example from one and a good example.
No. They
from the
called
other.
it. They called it. They called it. What? Fuck. These medical issues. My fucking brain malfunctions. Hold on. They called it. They mocked it for being peaceful, and then they showed it was peaceful. Right?
Mm.
They didn't show any violence, dude.
Therefore, no violence ever from the left is what you're saying.
I never said there's no violence from the left.
So is that a bad example of you showing then? If we want to see both sides of the left and the right,
my whole argument is this: like, obviously, criminals are gonna take advantage. All right, right now, right, the apartment building next door to me. I'm guessing the dude lost it to the bank or whatever. No one's been there in months. The grass is 8 feet tall. We caught squatters in there the other day.
Can't you report that and get paid money for doing it? Is that a thing in America?
I don't know. No idea. I'm not a rat. But what I'm saying is they saw the grass was high. They saw no one's been there. So they took advantage of that situation, right? So maybe some criminals, I'm going to take advantage of this protest and I'm going to go loot and destroy shit, right?
One thing we know is there can't be any people on the left who are also criminals. It can't be an overlapping thing. It has to be good guys on the left and separate criminals putting themselves in between, getting away with it, kind of like, oh, hello, I'm a fellow lefty. why have you got that crowbar with you? No reason. I'm just doing fellow lefty things. Oh, okay.
All right, what I'm getting at is at these protests.
Oh, Michaela, no racism in the chat. See a comment at the one.
Black and white.
Come on, Michaela. Hey, none of that in there, please. Come on.
Oh, dude, Jimmy Dore isn't a lefty. Neither one of them are lefties anymore. No, what I'm saying is, like, you get criminals that take advantage, and yes, when some protesters get violent, it's because the cops started it. I'm fucking telling you, dude. They'll just
every time. It's weird, isn't it? Weird, isn't that strange?
They spray shit. They stop banging. They got fucking curfews that they only enforce on the fucking libs.
Isn't that strange though? Because on the right side, whenever they do stuff like this, sometimes there's bad people on the right side who do stuff that they shouldn't do. But on the left side, it's always the police officers, isn't it?
I didn't say always.
Always.
I said sometimes there's criminals that take advantage.
Yeah, no, they're separate criminals on the left side. They're not actual lefties. But on the right side, they're righties who are also criminals. It's strange.
Common sense. If you actually cared about the thing, would you show up and rob, or would you show up and protest?
So some people, mate, have different opinions to yourself on what they class as what they'd like to do. So they might say, hey, yeah, I'm political. And you're like, yeah, I'm political too. And if you sat down and have a conversation, you might be at the end and say, he's not fucking political at all. He just doesn't like paying taxes or whatever the fuck it is. So yes, just because they say, I'm also a lefty, and you go, oh, great, I'm also a lefty, doesn't mean they actually are lefties or they are the same type of lefty as yourself.
No, there's lots of lefties, but I'm glad you brought up the taxes. That's because, like, that's how we got our freedom, buddy. You know, we destroyed property that wasn't ours. Some tea close where I live. We threw some tea in the fucking Boston Harbor, right?
I'm gonna say this last time. It was never that deep, guys. We don't miss you.
No, I'm not rubbing in your face. I'm saying
we don't care. We lost 100+ countries. You are just one of them. Okay, sure. You were cute, and we liked you for a bit. Okay, and yeah, we would see you more than our other bitches on the side. But it's over. Okay, we're done.
For once, I wasn't busting your balls on the British thing. I was just making the point that back in the day, it was okay to destroy property, you know, as a protest. It was okay. In fact, those guys are patriots. Those guys are the founding fathers they're the most patriotic people we have. You know what I mean? So how come now? How come we can't destroy some fucking property now? Blow up a fucking couple pop cars, huh?
Nick, is very different, isn't it? It's very different when you have another country that's ruling and taxing you and oppressing you compared to some people who just wanted to go into the Nike store and get some free trainers and then cause fucking
I'm not talking about those people. Those are the criminals I'm talking about. I'm not talking about those people.
I'm talking about. I'm sorry to say on your channel, but N-words is what I was talking about.
I'm not talking about opportunists. I'm talking about the people that actually care. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You're not here. You're intentionally conflating the two. Misconflated, whatever the fuck expression it is.
Are you finally realizing your issue having me on this show?
Yeah, you're not taking it seriously, you asshole.
I am. I'm giving you good answers on everything, just not the answers you thought I would give you.
Yeah, everyone's got guns. Everyone's all black people are criminals. Fuck, you're gonna clip that one on me now, you
theft, clip it, motherfucker.
You already got me looking like a sex pest, fucking, and a Nazi. It's like Jesus Christ. All right, fuck it. Let's watch this one.
Your fault.
Yeah, it was. Because no one gets me pissed off like Elon. I swear to fucking God. All right. Let's see how our police treat a unarmed elderly man. All right. Let's see. Now,
one sec. Can I just ask real quick?
Sure.
This unarmed elderly man, was he on his way to the shops just to get like a loaf of bread and a newspaper, maybe some milk, heading home to see his grandkids before they head off for the weekend?
Let's say that.
Is that what he was doing? Is that what he's doing, or is there context behind it that we're gonna evade?
Yeah, he's like, hey, how come you guys are acting like fucking tyrants? And he's greatly outnumbered, so you can't. It's like the just like the British video when you had the one guy with the machete.
You loved that. You loved that when we were doing it. You thought it was great.
Because you guys peacefully handled that one.
Nick, honest to God, unless these cops all pull out their guns and just shoot him, I'm going to be like, this is the exact same.
No. Wait till you see. Look at his ears. Make sure you're looking at his ears, all right?
Graphic warning up front.
Yeah, graphic
warning. If you have an uneasy stomach, look away. Fast forward like 30 seconds or whatever. But here's what happened in Buffalo, New York.
He is fleeing!
Right, so Nick, pause it for a second.
Yeah, bleeding out of his ears, guy. Fucking brain damage.
Nick. So have you kind of seen stories before where there's dickheads who are in like pubs or clubs or bars or whatever, who are like cock of the walk, all cocky, and someone comes up to them and they get punched, they fall badly, like on concrete, like that, they fall badly and they die, and that person gets like manslaughter or something, like they go to jail for it because they didn't mean to, obviously. But no, come on. I'm being honest. Have you never heard of stories of people who
apples and oranges again, dude?
No,
yes.
Nick. Because Nick, what you're saying is here. Did you see when those cops were like, "Let's kill that guy," and they killed him?
I didn't say they said let's kill that guy.
Or did you see they barely touched him? He lost his balance. He fell over. Horrible, bad luck. And obviously, really badly hurt himself or died or whatever happened here, and that's terrible luck. But you can't tell me you're like that. Those cops like, you know what I'm going to do with the old guy? I'm going to push him so he falls over and smacks his head and starts bleeding. Clearly, they pushed him. He lost his balance. Maybe they pushed him too hard. I don't know. It didn't look like it, but maybe they did. Maybe they did. Yeah, let's be fair. Let's say maybe they pushed him too hard, but they pushed him. Yeah, he lost his balance, and I laughed, and he fell badly. He fell bad, didn't he? And he like cracked his head. But there's not a part of you, honestly, that's like, yep, that was their intention there. They were clearly being ridiculously aggressive, trying to throw him to the ground. No, they pushed him. Maybe they didn't need to push him. Fair. They pushed him.
100%.
He lost his balance and he fell badly. That's the 90% of what happened. So the 10% is the cop maybe didn't have to push him.
Michaela beat me to it because you won't shut the fuck up. But listen, the first thing we talked about, de-escalation, protect and serve, right? That was not de-escalation.
So that guy there got left there and died, right? Is that what you're saying, Michaela? He was left there. These guys all left.
But are they rendering aid right now? Are they rendering aid? Or are they just walking?
Sorry. Well, it's frozen.
Well, yeah, tell me the positive.
I don't know how long the video is. So maybe these guys are trained where they go, if someone's fallen like that, don't move them. Make sure you get someone who's first aid trained, who's just out the corner.
They're all first aid trained. They're cops.
How? Are they? To the same degree?
I mean, they're not paramedics, but like all cops get first aid training, man. Absolutely.
So how long was he left there? Do you know?
I don't know, but no one's
Like,
fucking doing nothing right now, dude. No,
yeah. Well, to be fair, it's frozen.
He did live.
So
he did live.
No one's anything done because it's frozen at the moment.
He did live, but there was like brain damage. He was in like serious condition and all that.
Yeah, because he fell really badly. Like, really
dude, they
badly.
pushed an old man. They pushed an old man.
Like, first of all, yeah. Do not discriminate against people due to their age. Okay. Don't discriminate against people due to their gender. Don't do it due to their race. Okay. He is there. It doesn't look like he's doing anything, but protesting and causing damage. But yeah, can we watch a little bit more? Because I've only seen him fall over.
This is Buffalo. This guy could have been Clearwater Chad's fucking grandfather or some shit, dude. You know what I mean? Fuck.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep walking. Yeah. Go handle the guy with the signs. You got a replay.
Right. So pause it. So I'll give you the render aid thing because it does look like they're like, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Probably because they realized they're going to get fired.
They fucked up, right?
They probably realized, oh my God, that guy looks like he's fucking dying. I barely touched him. But will you at least give, as much as you're kind of like, oh, they shouldn't touch him, they shouldn't put their hands on him. They probably have to in scenarios where there's potential riots. They probably can't just go, excuse me, can you please move? Excuse me, can you please move? So he fell badly, yeah? You give me that at least?
100%.
He fell really,
yeah.
And he hit the ground real bad as well, yeah?
Yeah.
I think if we're being fair, the police didn't have any intention of that. They were maybe being little roughhouse bullies where they wanted to push him back to move him, but they had zero intention of pushing him to the ground. Do you think they actually wanted him on the ground or just out the way?
No, they just want him out of the way, but our police aren't supposed to go hands unless they absolutely have to. It's literally
you're not supposed to touch anyone. You're not supposed to touch anyone as a cop.
No, you can touch people, but you have to give them fucking
right, okay.
like all right, suppose they're in the car and you want them to get out of the car. They don't fucking listen. You can fucking eventually you can grab them and drag them. You're not supposed to use physical force. Like, did they use physical force within like fucking 3 seconds? You know what I mean? Like, that's not how it's supposed to go.
So we agree the cops did the wrong thing there of pushing him, 100%.
Okay.
They didn't do the wrong thing of trying to crack his head open like a piñata.
Right,
but it definitely happened. It's the same thing. It's the same thing as my example of that guy at the pub who hit someone. Yeah, he meant to hit him, and that's bad, and he shouldn't do that. But he had zero intention of killing the fucker, right?
No, I'm not saying they had any intention to kill the guy, dude. I don't think they. A lot of times,
or to hurt him. I don't think they even wanted to hurt him. They just wanted to move that way. Sorry, Ava. Nick doesn't read it. He just puts
you're
it
talking.
There
I'm not talking over you, dude. While you're talking.
So then just wait and then read it. Don't just take it down. Go on.
I assume they tell you how to read in Oxford or wherever the fuck you went. Dude.
Yeah, but when you're streaming, if you bring stuff up on the screen, you need to read it.
I don't need to do anything I don't fucking want to do.
Yes, you do. You do.
My show. This isn't fucking whatever
this
we
is pint dabble pint.
This isn't, I don't even do pint dabble pint. This isn't between two hacks where you get to tell me
read
what
it.
To do.
Read it, Nick.
You tell me not to read during. No wonder I don't read. You tell me not to read during that fucking show. As the lovely Ava pointed out, in this case, they were already annoyed with the guy because he was yelling at them earlier. Yeah, death by cop, right? You can't. He didn't die. I shouldn't say that. Assault by cop, brain damage by cop. The biggest crime in the United States is disrespecting an officer. Right? It's literally the biggest crime you can commit. You disrespect them.
We've already covered.
That's what they do.
So we've already covered that's bullshit, Nick, because we've covered that. The thing they did wrong was pushing him. None of the rest was intentional. Gon, do you want to read this or do you want to just have it on the screen?
I will say, I'm waiting for you to finish. I don't talk over. Sometimes. What I'm getting at is they pushed him because they felt disrespected. They pushed an elderly old man. Looks like he weighs like 6 fucking pounds. But yes, our police have called. Do your cops have qualified immunity? Probably not, right?
Pay attention to that stuff. Michaela says our police have qualified immunity, which allows them to do what they want. If that was repealed, then maybe they couldn't.
Right. I'm asking, do the Brits have it? Do you know?
My answer was I don't know.
Okay, all right. Basically, that means like, if they get sued, they're not the ones that have to fucking pay, so they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
You got sue over everything though. So.
Well, Stuttering John, yeah. Yeah, sometimes they see Liquid. See, the one thing is Liquid, I'll give him this. He's not a cop ball licker. This must be tough for him because I'm sure he hates these fucking protesters, but he's also not a cop fan, so it must be hard. The one of the clips I really wanted to fucking find I couldn't find was I remember I think it was in like New York last year. There was like a cop car that drove through like a protest and they kind of like pushed these protesters. And someone found you get the license plate of the car when it goes through. This video from someone else. They literally let these fucking Trump supporters get in the back of the car, and as they drove through the protest to knock these people out. Cops don't like liberal protesters in this country, Ekul. I got to tell you that. They like MAGA. You know, if you protest for Trump, they love you. You know, other than that, they want you to get fucked. Well, you know.
Good to know.
Just letting you know. All right, let's see. Let's see what we want to watch next. Maybe we'll do a little Jimmy Dore.
Blue Lives Matter.
He's right wing, super bad. Fucking yeah. I'm thinking about Jimmy's. I have to like. Oh, I know what I want to show. Obviously, yeah, she's good for this one. All right, this is probably the one that's gonna get me taken down, but whatever. Fuck it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, because this shows the point I'm trying to make that these fuckers start this fucking shit, dude, and that's what leads to the old fucking destruction. Do I have it? Pineapple talk. Fucking vamp.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? My name is Ekul Pineapple.
Cool,
I hate politics because it divides everybody. Where you've got to be like, this side is right, this side is wrong. Guess what? You're all fucking wrong, you fucking idiots. Sorry, go on. What did you want to say?
No, I said I'll put that chat up.
Tune in Sunday for more political talk.
Tune in for more dabbling in politics.
Send her the link. Send her the link. It's fine. Go on. I might shut up for a bit if there's someone else on as well. Divides and conquer.
Okay.
Divides and conquer.
All right. This took place in Ava's backyard here. All right. Let's see what they did to a veteran in this isn't the one I wanted. Never mind. Hold on. Keep talking. Fuck. Do I not have it?
I'm going to list all of the minorities.
I do have it.
Like.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. You ready? Okay.
No, I mean I didn't know if I had the fucking link. I thought I fucked up. Holy shit. Dude, you make this look so easy.
It is
how
easy.
you do it.
You just need to be a professional pineapple. That's the secret.
Yeah, I guess. We usually have like one long fucking thing we'll watch and then we'll fucking vamp, you know. Usually not doing the old back and forth. Oh my god, it was the first fucking one. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, here we go.
Come on. Here we go.
Shut up.
I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
What are you doing? What is going on? Who are you?
Let me just show you that real quick. Not that we're covering that today. In Portland, they were fucking these fucking guys were pulling up, right? Weren't identifying themselves, throwing themselves in unmarked vehicles, weren't even saying where they were taking the fucking people, were blindfolding the people. That's why this person taping's like, who are you? They're actually asking the dude being taken away so they can tell someone, hey, so and so got taken away. This is tyranny, buddy. This is tyranny.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to My name is Chris.
That guy is a big boy, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's a veteran, dude. A veteran.
Yeah. He's a big guy. Do you see how many times I hit him? He didn't even fucking flinch.
Dude, wait do you see what happened to him, dude? His hands like shattered, his pinky fingers like shattered. Yeah, they fucked him up. And he just stood there like a fucking champ.
Must have been on meth or something. Thank God they stopped him.
Shut up.
Went to the Naval Academy and graduated in 1988, and I served on active duty for 8 years after that. I'm here doing this interview because a bunch of federal agents beat me up because I wanted to talk to them about them not honoring their oath to the Constitution.
They weren't doing what, Ekul? They weren't doing what? Honoring their oath to the Constitution?
Apparently so.
Yeah. Not good guys. Not good guys.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest with you, Nick. a time to probably not have a conversation like this is when there's people on both sides, like essentially battling each other. Probably the wrong time to be like, can I just have a word? Can I just ask you something? It's like, well, can I just get the flames out from my shield? Is that all right? Because someone just threw another cocktail at me. It's like, yeah,
Well,
yeah, no.
He'll explain how it was. I'll let him talk, but he's about to say it was peaceful, so he's about to go home. And then we'll see.
It looks peaceful. Yeah, yeah.
Well, no, we're seeing the non-peaceful aspect after.
Okay.
We will see who started the old non-peacefulness. Let's just take one guess.
For the last few weeks, I've been watching the feds take unconstitutional and egregious action against peaceful protesters. And
see, peaceful. He's a veteran.
Oh my God.
Right. It had been getting worse and worse every night. And I'd be becoming more and more outraged because what they were doing was blatantly unconstitutional. I wanted to go and talk to them and ask them why they were doing this and why they were violating their oath. And I just took the bus downtown and I started wandering around until I found somebody who looked like they were heading to the protest, and I asked them where it was, and then I just followed them there. You know, I was about to leave around 10:45 or so, and all of a sudden they came out.
See, 10:45, peaceful, vocal. He's about to leave.
If it's 10:45, therefore equals peaceful. Yeah.
He just said what time it was, man. These
Oh,
fucking.
yeah.
He's just letting you know. It was peaceful all the way till almost 11 o'clock.
That bit isn't the useful information, but yeah, go on. Let's see what happens.
Whatever.
And they plowed into the protesters in the intersection, knocking them down, and started to surround me. So I just decided to post up at that standpoint, and I was just going to stand. And I knew they were going to do this. They were going to beat me. So I just knew it was coming.
Antagonize them.
It happened so fast. I don't really remember all that much. I knew my hand was broken. But that was secondary to the pepper spray and the tear gas. It felt like somebody had dumped burning gasoline into my eyeballs. And so I made my way to the far corner of the park, which is where Cav found me.
I was waiting on the outskirts of the crowd, as I usually do, to make sure that people who are coming out of the park are safe. And I ran into Chris, who was having trouble seeing. I could tell that his hand was badly injured. So I called an ambulance and gave him an ice pack. And it just made me really sad to see like one of our service members who's put their lives on the line for our country to just get beaten to hell by the people that are supposed to be protecting you. It's just makes me angry, honestly.
The bone.
See, they're supposed to.
Wait, what? What do you think happens when there's like a back and forth at these things? like when they're not peaceful, shit happens, right? Like that's part and parcel of it. You know, if you get in a boxing ring, you might get hit. You know, that's kind of the case here, right?
No, he's saying everything was peaceful. Then all of a sudden they're like, hey, you know, we're just going to start pushing people. We're going to start showing tear gas.
That's what he's saying, which is fine. Because
I know, yeah.
We'll have, No, let's be honest. Like that might be what happened. But also on the flip of the coin, might be something different. Yeah, but he's going to say it that way, which is fine. And he was hit by cops and pepper sprayed. And what I'm saying is, yeah, that kind of happens, I think, as far as I can tell. You've shown me quite a few things of pepper spray and like batons and what have you. That's part of the risk of going. Should they be like, hang on, did you serve in the army? All right, okay, crack on. What about you? Oi, did you serve in the army? No, get him.
They're not supposed to do it to anybody. So the fact that he's a veteran...
But also the peaceful protesters aren't supposed to light things and try to blow up things either, right? Like that's also the unwritten rule.
Right. So this is where I think the discussion comes in, where I think if you will admit that the cops start the protest, right? Sorry, that the cops start the violence, right? Instigate the violence, then the only thing we have to, you know, it's up to you. If you don't think that destroying property is a proper response, okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. I actually agree with that too. I would never destroy a small business. If someone was smashing up a cop car, yeah, why not? You know, when they were fucking up CNN's headquarters, yeah, fuck them. But yeah, I wouldn't do like Main Street mom and pop stores or whatever.
Do you know what the problem is? Do you know what the problem is with me? And why we probably won't agree on a lot of things. My morals are for everything. they aren't. I don't pick and choose where I apply them. I don't pick and choose like, no, stamp on his head, that's fine, but not on that person's head because they were in the army. I am black and white when it comes to stuff like this. I either think it's fine or it's not fine. Yeah. I don't kind of go, hey, don't do it to that black family's house, but that rich white family's house you can do it to. I disagree. I don't think that's a way to live your life, especially as someone who's supposed to be quite liberal and quite forward thinking. I think that's quite disappointing.
Well, if you took in what I said, right? Number one, I never said I would do violence against anybody. Okay. Never said I'd stomp on anybody's head.
You say you damage their property. And that's what I was saying about the houses. Yeah.
I said a cop car. It's a fucking public vehicle, right? It's not.
Oh, that's fine. Then. Yeah. That's
CNN. I think we can all agree CNN fucking sucks. I remember when they were getting damaged.
So it's based on opinion if you like it or not. Okay.
Well, no, I never said anyone's house. I never said anyone's house. Rich or poor, I never said anyone's house.
Nick, I don't like the little corner shops where the packies work. So that's fine, right?
I never said that. Dude, all right.
Should burn that down.
Let me break this down for you. I wouldn't, if I saw a Trump sign in someone's fucking yard, I wouldn't go I'd leave their house alone. I'm guessing I don't like that guy or agree with that guy, but I'm not going to attack his home.
No, you don't like him just because he voted for someone.
I said I doubt I'm going to agree with the fucking guy.
No, you said I don't think I'd like him.
Yeah,
or agree with him.
Right. Okay, if you vote for Trump, fine. If you got a bunch of Trump signs in your yard, then I'm guessing you're in the cult. And I'm probably not going to like you.
Well, what 1 second though, Nick. Do you by any chance have any signs when things were voting? Did you have any signs up for anyone out of interest? No, I'm just asking. Like, did you have any? Yeah. No, you other someone else. Yes, you personally.
My wife may have had some signs up.
Sure, and that's fine, right? Because that's your political opinion, and that's who you're voting for, and you're a nice guy.
All right, you're not listening. So these took place in May and June. Okay, there weren't no elections. All right.
No, don't then turn it into an actual physical thing about elections. I'm just saying.
That's what you were just saying. Yeah.
No. Listen. You were saying,
dude, you're trying to get me off track. This has nothing to do with the fucking protest now.
See, this is the problem.
You're filibustering right now.
No. You're saying I want to win based on my specific point. And I'm saying, no, you brought something up. I'm addressing it. You said if you saw someone's house and it had a Trump sign on it, you wouldn't like that guy. And all I'm saying is you would have
probably.
I
said probably.
No, you said you would.
That's exactly what I said, dude.
1 second.
Rewind this after.
That's fine. That's fine. And then I just said, but you would have signs for your guy, and you're a likable guy. But that's not because you're a
that's debatable.
It's just, no. All right, go on. Carry on.
No, I was just saying that I wouldn't destroy someone's property even if I thought I didn't agree with them or like them, or whatever. Their fucking house. That's what I was. Number one, dude.
Make you a scumbag. Yeah.
Just to be clear, I've never even attacked even that one in Boston and May. I didn't fucking destroy any property, but I fucking understood the people that wanted to, because it's fucking frustrating, man. Because you can't fight back against the cops. So when they start shooting fucking pepper balls at you and throwing fucking,
you just break your wrist. You just break.
Yeah,
your wrist
this is what happens, dude. Right? That guy wasn't even fighting; he was standing there. If he swung at the cops, trust me, dude, they would have fucking beat him way worse than that. Holy shit! All right.
Well, not his fingers, obviously. But yeah,
I'm putting this one on pause. I'm not getting in with you. I want to make sure I get this one before I lose you. All right. Fucking Christ. Yeah, I think the rest of that one is mostly you get to see the different groups that came up for the protest. There was like a bunch of moms, all kinds of stuff. Good stuff. Ava, were you at those protests? I think you were. Some of them.
Yeah, she said she was.
Okay. I was gonna make a joke and be like, let me know in the free chat, since that's all I have. Holy shit. All right, let's see. Let's I want that one. I don't know. We'll just do whatever's next. Fuck it. That looks like a good one. Cool. Let's see what the cops do here. Whoa, dude. See? Push, spray. Did nothing. And you all right. You think that's funny, but you don't think destruction of property is funny. I just want that noted.
mate, Nick. I laughed at the guy falling over. I can't help it. When there's like something like that, I knew when I saw that, I was like, oh, that is a real bad fall. I can't help it. I will laugh. I laugh at like awkward stuff. That's fine. But yeah.
See? Arms up, fucking sprays them anyway, dude. This is what they do.
So, Nick.
Yes.
As someone who's been to a few, maybe not exactly the same as these, but a few like protests and what have you, I think you said all of yours have been pretty much peaceful. But the one thing, when I try to be fair, I do kind of think there must be a lot of adrenaline on both sides on this show, especially when it kind of escalates, when it kind of bumps up. And as Michaela would probably say if she was still here, well, that's why the cops have training for stuff like this. They should be like, yeah, I get you. But you will see, I'm sure there's another Mumbling Nick somewhere out there who's a righty who's playing clips right now, very specific clips of police doing their job properly with people throwing petrol bombs, picking up a brick, like the very small minority of people doing it. And being like, look, this is what the protesters were like. And I get that we hold the police to a higher standard than the protesters, because that's their job. They're paid to do it. They're supposed to be, keepers of the peace or whatever you want to call it. But also, it is very nitpicking, and you would lose your shit at like Fox News playing like a 30-second set of clips where it's like, this is what's happening every day, and you're like, no, that's just very specific examples of some things that happen.
Well, so one of the things, and what sucks is like I didn't know how to navigate it. There's a Jimmy Dore video where he goes through a bunch of shit that all happened in one day, but I'd have to cut it all up, which I didn't get to. But dude, like a lot of this shit was all like in one day or 1 week. Yeah, like this bunch of these were just May 25th. This is what they were doing. And I think
tensions were raised. Yeah, for sure.
So where I think my side is right is like, I'm not going to disagree. If some fucking guy's looting, yeah, arrest him. If some dude's throwing a brick and okay, arrest him. But they don't seem to have a problem with the cops attacking the unarmed people that fucking have their hands up and aren't fucking doing anything. I mean, there's a clip I don't think we'll get to. There was this town in fucking Indiana. It was like this fucking one stoplight town. It's the fucking lamest protest you've ever seen. And literally a cop who's in not even the front row, he's like in the second row of a line, just throws a fucking smoke grenade for no fucking reason because he's fucking bored. And then
right. So what I was saying earlier, so I made a bit of an extreme example, of like if you get pulled over, and you're a cop and you pull someone over, my extreme example is like anyone at any point could like shoot you, and it's like sure, but I was deliberately pointing that out because I try to kind of put myself in the shoes of like the police officers in this case, so it is similar to like, or I assume to a degree, of when people are at war or what have you, or like in situations where where you'll see someone who's kind of like nervous, and it's like he reacts badly, or he kind of like expects the worst, and we're seeing some people here who are doing nothing, and there are police reacting as if they think they're going to turn around with a brick and like skull them in and kill them, so that doesn't make it right. But it does make me have a little bit of empathy in this situation where on both sides, it must be extremely tense. It must be really hard. And you must be like at any point with some of these things thinking, what's going to fucking happen next? And unfortunately, if you've got the upper hand, some people will take advantage and take the upper hand, right? Rather than risk.
Yeah, I'm sure there are some people that are just afraid, and then I question whether they should be cops in the first place. But
Can
I also think
can you not be afraid as a cop ever in any scenario?
Of course you can, but you can't, if someone's got their fucking hands up and they've done nothing all day, you can't be like, oh,
Sure.
maybe after 5 hours they're gonna pull a gun out. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you be aware that the camera's looking at the cop and at one person, and there's maybe 5 more cops and 20 more people surrounding them? So it maybe looks like they're just focusing in on that one person, and they might technically be looking at that one person, but they're thinking, what the fuck's happening? This is escalating. I've got to do something, so they fuck off right now. And don't overcome us.
I'm going by with what we have, man. I'm not doing all this what if or what. Yeah,
no. Yeah, we're looking at the very specific clips that have been clipped by people that show very specific moments of this, which I agree don't look doctored. Yeah, so I agree. Cops have done these things that we're seeing. All I'm trying to say is maybe there's a tiny bit of empathy for the scenario, because I'm sure you'd have a lot for the people who get caught, maybe who go, well, did you see that they pushed over a cop and the cop broke their neck? And it's like, yeah, but like the cops had like weapons and that, and like it's scary, and they probably didn't mean to push them over. They was just trying to get out of there. And it's like, yeah, like it works both ways, right?
Yeah, we're not allowed to push cops in this country, man. Maybe in your country. But
no, you're only allowed to throw Molotov cocktails on them. That's fine, but don't push them. Jesus.
They arrested that guy, dude, and I think they threw it at the cop.
Obviously.
Not him.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So you're not allowed. And I will bring this up. If they're doing, these cops know they're on fucking camera, and this is what they're doing. Imagine what they did when they fucking weren't on camera. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking crazy, dude.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started, Michaela, on Gaza.
From the river to the sea, guy. From the river to the sea. Yeah, Ekul's a Shuli ball washer. He's all for Israel. You want to fucking hear him. Just because of his boy Shuli.
Kill every single Palestinian.
I think they already did. Didn't they?
Yes, I hope so. Fuck off.
They're not all Pakis. You know that, right? Like people, they're not Pakis in that country.
You can let some of them stay in. That's fine.
You put them all together. All right. I don't know, man. I'll let you go soon. I have like too much fucking shit here. I'm just gonna cut it all. Let me see if I can find one more interesting thing to watch. Like I said, originally the first thing I cut was the Jimmy Dore one.
I will kill you as well. I will kill you all. She went, I'm a packer, you pineapple.
Yeah, she was born there. What do you think I fucking said it, dude?
I'll kill you.
Yeah.
Are you from Palestine? Are you actually?
No. She was born in Pakistan.
In Pakistan?
Yeah.
Oh God, Ava, can you have a word with my neighbor and ask him to stop cooking so much fucking curry? I get that they cook it a lot, but every fucking night. I don't want it every night, man. It's too much.
Ekul, do you eat spicy food besides curry? No.
I don't eat any spicy foods for an asylum, to be honest.
Yeah, liquid. Oh shit. Sorry. You moved on me.
You should bring Ava on. Why are you scared of having Ava on your channel? You should bring her on.
Oh, bring her on right now.
Let her confront the racist pineapple.
She's gonna. I didn't want to put her through because you're not gonna take it seriously. So she's.
Why would I take anything seriously?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm a floating pineapple. I'm a floating pineapple. You're lucky that I've answered actual questions to the best of my ability.
Ava gets very passionate, and I know I didn't want her to like put her all her heart into it just for you to make some fucking smug prick fucking British joke in return. That's all.
I guarantee I will still do that if that helps.
Oh God. I'm trying to remember what my neighbors fucking do. They eat. There's something. There's something. All right, if I can think of it. All right, hold on.
Send Ava the link. There you go.
All right, I'll send it.
Could understand.
Oh God. Get me in trouble. You. All right, hold on. I'll play a clip and I'll send her a link while I'm playing the clip. Sure. Well, yeah, we'll watch a little Jimmy Dore. That's what we'll do. We'll end it with Jimmy, the right winger. We'll end it with your guy. I was gonna.
I've got a spoiler alert for you at the end of this, Nick. I'll give you the exclusive scoop.
What's that? He's not your guy?
No, I'll give you a skip. I was played a video. I said later on.
Right. Okay, I want this one. All right. The only problem is Jimmy gives his fucking opinion too much in this shit, and that's what I want to do. But sorry,
for sure.
We'll watch some of it. All right.
So here's the officer. So Janya Zayer, if that's how you say her name, she says this is the officer. He threw my phone before throwing me. As you can see, I was already backing up. All I asked was why. Watch this. So you see him coming. That's him here. And that is a guy in a white shirt, which means he's a sergeant or a lieutenant. He's the boss.
You gotta get out of the street. Get out of the street.
He goes, I don't know if you saw right at the end. He goes, you gotta get out of the street, get out of the street. And she goes, why? And he just hits her phone out of her hand. That's what happened right at the end there. He just hits her phone right out of her hand.
You gotta get out of the street.
I'm gonna fast forward this a little because he talks too much. We'll get to the video of what he actually did to the girl. Another violent push by this steroid freak Ekul, who has.
Wait, is this
What?
another story of someone being pushed? Are these the horrific crimes? These.
Oh, he
police officers
tosses her, dude. He's got like.
Oh, he
pictures-
tosses her. He doesn't push.
Well, no, he
Okay.
pushes her. He pushes.
Oh, push. Oh, another push. Okay.
But he's got like where are the pictures? He's got like fucking whatever those thing collars are on his fucking dogs. Those torture collars. Yeah, look at that. Look at this fucking asshole.
Oh, what a prick.
Yeah.
Fucked up. They let you in. By the way, if you're too smart or show compassion, they. What happened?
Watch
to
her get tossed.
She hit her head on concrete.
Because she was thrown.
It's 90 because she was thrown. I don't know if you saw how she was thrown, but I'll show it to you again.
Right.
That's a 300.
That is a violent push. If that happened to that old guy, I would have been like, that fucking nearly killed that guy.
All right.
I would
Thank
say
you.
that.
She ended up having a
So that's
seizure
why
on
it's
the way-
important. That's why it's important to be clear with this kind of stuff, because the other cops were idiots, yeah, who were being little bully boys who pushed an old guy over who nearly died, and that's bad. But that cop there would fucking try to push her through a wall. That was a very severe push.
Yeah, she ended up having a seizure on the way to the hospital. So here's one. I'm going to show this clip because I think I might agree. This one I'm torn on, dude. The guy may have went a little overboard, but this woman may have had this coming. So
Control maniacs that they commit violence.
And you're going to love it because it's going to be black on black violence. So you're going to love it.
On them during a protest about police violence. So I'll show you some more. Watch this. This was in, I think, Atlanta.
Oh! Oh! So what's the issue there?
He knocked her out.
Genuine. Yeah. Sorry. What's the issue? She was swinging haymakers. Yeah, what's the
That's
issue?
what I'm saying. I'm
She's a
torn
weak-
on this one.
Oh, because she's a weak woman. She's a weak, pathetic woman who should be able to do whatever she wants. because
No.
she's
I'm not
she's
saying they should have
lesser-
done nothing.
She's the lesser gender, is what Nick's saying.
I think the
and
point-
we can't treat them equally, is what Nick's trying to say. Got you.
I think the point is, if you look, they're surrounded by cops, so maybe they could have, grabbed her.
Right. So we've all seen stuff where there's, we've all
go ahead.
seen stuff where there's like women like slapping at cops or people or whatever, and they're doing zero damage. You see those kind of gifs or memes.
Yeah.
There's like cat attacking someone and it's like 0 out of 100 damage or something, like 10 out of 10 cute. With that, she was big and she was throwing like big punches. Yeah. And I'm not saying that 3 cops can't handle that. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to be throwing punches like that, don't be overly surprised if someone goes, I'm just going to take you down, because that's what I would do to a guy your size, throwing the same kind of punches.
Yeah, that's why I was torn on that one. So yeah, the rest of the video, Jimmy just shows it over and over and basically makes the point that they should have grabbed her instead of knocking her out. So that's the point.
Sure.
Right winger Jimmy Dore makes. Just letting you know. All right.
Yesterday. This is all from one fucking day in America.
One day.
It was constant.
It was constant. And there's millions more I won't have time to get to. Did you see that? You see the cop so the cops are beating on someone. The cops all just swarmed. Cops show up. They cause violence. Violence starts happening. Cops swarm on one guy, start pounding on him. And then another guy comes up and there's a guy standing there and he just rips him, throws him into a fucking car and bashes his head. Watch this. So this guy grabs him and just throws him. And that guy is out.
Out cold.
Good.
Good. All right.
Yeah, I don't really have an issue with that.
Well, let's see if you have an issue with this. What's going on, Ava?
Make us full screen.
What's
Make
up?
us full screen.
I will, dude. All right, go ahead.
So I can be racist towards Ava. Hello, Ava. How you doing? You're on.
Nice to meet you, Ekul.
Nice to meet you.
Are you mad, Nick? Do you not want me here?
No. I trust me. The only reason I know this ball busting prick, and I know you and I take this shit seriously, and he's just gonna make a mockery of it. So that's all.
I like
You've
to
been
laugh
warned.
about it too.
Okay,
I feel like in our last episode, people thought like that was like really angry, but to me, it was like we were friends that go to a bar, and that night I just was giving him more shit. I feel like Liquid took it that way, but other people are like, "Whoa, you were mad." I was like, "No, it's fucking busting." I don't know. But,
I lost total control over the whole second hour.
You
of the
lost
show.
control that.
I sounded like Jake Hudson trying to get a word in every once in a while. Then I just gave
I'm
up.
sorry if that was too much.
No, absolutely, that was fine.
Why is your lamp wonky? Just out of interest.
That's
Is it
not the
wonky?
lamp. That's the fucking shade. All of a sudden, I had the shade up, and now the sun's coming through. I got
not you, Nick. You
What?
egotist. I was talking to.
I think you're talking to me.
Ava.
I got the light in my face.
Because this is like one of those like 60s ones, and so it's bent a little bit. Is that what? Look at your background.
Hey, don't criticize my background. I can criticize people.
Do you want me to straighten out the lampshade for you? Yeah, I feel like me and Liquid were like totally.
That was good.
I wouldn't have talked like that if I didn't love Liquid.
I only got worried when the personal insults started coming out.
Isn't that's what he's like with friends when you argue?
Well, 100%,
I was just, like,
100%.
just throwing in a fat fuck every now and then. Everyone was like, Krishan and all them. It was just like they get so sensitive when like someone that they expect to be sensitive is just calling someone a fat fuck, and I was like, I thought that's what we do. I don't even know if he's fat.
Well, that's what I said. I literally I have no idea what Liquid looks like. So I was like, I don't know if he's a fat fuck. I don't know if it lands.
If he hides behind a filter, he's a fat fuck.
But Nick was protective. Nick was like, just to be clear, we don't know if Liquid is fat or not. And it's just like, who cares?
Just to clarify, we do not know if he is a fat fuck.
Yes.
Okay.
So Ekul, you're in. Are you in London? Where are you?
Might as well be. No, I'm in Cheshire, so close to Manchester. Have you heard of Manchester?
Yes, I went there. I went to Europe for the first time in December, and I spent some time in Manchester and London.
Oh, did you really?
I know I felt very at home there, which was probably upsetting because for you that's probably disturbing how at home I felt.
It would have made more sense if you felt at home in Birmingham. That would maybe be more your demographic of race.
I spent most of my time in Camden, and so.
Okay, Camden's lovely. Yeah,
it is.
Did
cheap.
Did you say you went to Manchester as well?
I did.
In Camden.
My UK stuff was mainly just Beatles things, but I did stuff like South in Manchester and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What were y'all talking about?
We were watching.
Really.
I'm being sneaky.
Nick was trying to get me to admit that every cop should get beaten by protesters, but I won't.
I feel like I'm on the right of Nick on a lot of what y'all were talking about.
Oh no. Yeah, I
feel like Ekul makes a good point where it's like when a situation has been escalated to that level.
Right. Sorry, you gotta go.
And people are. Oh, you can throw me out.
No, I'm joking. Go on. Go on.
When I went to go observe those protests, the thing that I was the most stunned by was they gave them so much warning, and it was like midnight, and there had been a lot of damage done to the downtown. And then what was wrong was they had Homeland Security, which isn't right. But I was stunned that people were surprised that the cops were behaving that way, because they were antagonizing them. So whenever a cop would actually arrest someone, they'd be like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" This is like, well, we're at it's chaos around.
Yeah, for sure. I think as well, I would hope, Nick, after a few months of streaming with me, would know that I often play like devil's advocate as well on things that I don't always necessarily agree with. So, for example, if you're going to show me a load of clips, I'm going to be like, well, motherfucker, like that might be cherry-picked clips. That doesn't show a true reflection.
Equal's doing something very sneaky in this because he's sitting from the perch of the society he lives in Europe. He's like, oh, we don't have to worry about that. That's fine. But yeah, I understand why but he's like, but I'm sure he would pick his situation over ours.
I'm sure.
See,
is that
it's
true?
really funny because I absolutely love America. Like the fact that I stream and stream to a majority of Americans, apart from that Australian fuck Brent Monkhouse, is great because I love Brent. I go holiday in America as often as I can. But the one thing I've always said, as much as I love American culture and like all the different places you can go in America, I would never raise a family in America ever.
Yes.
And I know you're like, oh, we don't all have guns. I'm like, yeah, dickhead. All right, I know technically you don't all have guns, but I would never forgive myself if I moved to America, raised my kid there, and they were part of a school shooting or something. And I know that's extreme. It's like saying going
not extreme.
and what have you. No, but that's my point. Yeah, exactly. It is extreme in terms of not every day. Maybe, but I mean, not every day will your specific school get shot up. But it wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility that your school could, at some point, get shot up because it happens a lot.
It does,
and that's just a part of your life. Unfortunately, in America, like there's nothing you guys will ever be able to do about guns because there's too many. And it's sad, but there's nothing you can do. You've got too many guns. There's no going back. You're past the point of return on it.
My sister lives in Georgia, and so she's raising my niece and nephew there. And the main thing I wanted to tell her when I got back from Europe was that she should move there and raise her children there. But I feel like it's like we can't. I like agree with the politics of what Nick is saying, but I don't think that this society has the ability to have that conversation or do anything. So we just have to accept that guns are here. Like we do not have the capacity to have any policy discussion here. It's we can't.
So, are you aware of what happened? I think in the 90s in Australia, they had at the time one of the biggest school shootings. And it was really horrible and the country in general like kind of went, you know what? We ain't doing these guns things anymore. And because not everyone had guns and it wasn't like a massive thing where it's like it's part of our constitution, it's part of our blah blah blah, they were able to do it. There would be people who go, that's fucking bullshit, and it's like tough luck, and they were able to do it. But,
in Australia, in Europe, they just have a different relationship with the nature of government that isn't divided by left and right. There's just they trust their government to do things, and they are willing to cooperate at that level. Here, it's a partisan issue.
You know what's mad? You know what's absolutely mad? Normally, with a lot of things, I'm kind of like things don't change that quickly. You know, everything kind of stays the same, kind of. But since COVID, honest to God, since 2020, the trust in the government is gone. Like I know there's always kind of skeptical stuff in general, but after being told, stay at home, you will kill your family members if you don't stay at home. We all went, all right, okay. Like in England, like a lot of people didn't, but a majority went, okay, yeah, we'll do it. And then prime ministers having parties, fucking like secretaries, like reaching all these rules. And afterwards you're like, okay, yeah, fuck yourself. You literally said to us, we're all going to die. So we followed what you said and you were chatting shit. Never again.
I feel like that version that's responding to COVID is still a million times further to the left with government than the US is. Like even them being angry and losing trust, that's still so much more trustful. I spent most of my time I spent most of my time in Sweden, and I got to talk to so many different kind of people, and you know, they didn't have the lockdowns, and the people I would talk to, they're just like, we just didn't have lockdowns, and they just and
you know,
they had this, and they had
what happened.
Yeah,
you know what happened?
It was fine.
Nothing happened. They carried on. They don't have as big a debt as we all have added to our national debt because they kind of continue.
Yeah, nothing was different.
Yeah,
and everyone, whether they're left or like somebody from the right that I would talk to, or you know, they're more conservative, they all just had that take on the COVID part of it. They're like, yeah, we just didn't do it. Okay, I'm gonna shut up.
No, good. I just gotta make Brent. I agree with you, buddy, but I'm
Yes.
guessing every shooter is mentally ill, mass shooter.
You got to be a tiny bit messed up to be like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm gonna go and shoot 20 people. It's like, yeah, a little bit.
Or to have a pineapple avatar.
Hey.
Or to be dressed as a woman.
He claims he doesn't
Hey.
even like pineapple. The fucking
Ava.
weirdo.
Ava, let's not
Ava.
discriminate against
Don't
Ava,
mispronounce.
sorry.
It doesn't matter.
Oh,
I know I'm busting balls.
it does matter. So it's Ava, yeah?
Yeah.
Sorry. Ava.
Sure, it really doesn't matter.
Okay. It matters a little bit because people always ask me, they go, is it Ekul or Ekul? And I say, well, it's not my name, so it doesn't matter. It's just my name backwards.
But it does matter.
That truly does matter.
You've got the lights and everything.
It's just Luke backwards. That's all it is. Fucking Luke. So Brent, didn't I believe the right-wing politicians lost? They weren't reelected after the Port Arthur thing. So yeah, it was. I don't know. Obviously, Brent would know more than me. He's Australian, but from the shit I always saw on it, obviously the non-gun people were fine with it. The gun people put up a little stink, and there must have been enough push that the politicians, the right-wing politicians that pushed it, ended up losing their jobs over it. But then everyone just kind of got used to it, so it worked out in the long run, I guess. But yeah, because you're going.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I just find it so... Oh, look, he was re-elected.
What did I... Okay, then you know what's funny? I'm going to have to rewatch. Maybe not the president, what are your congressmen, what are your leaders of your little divided sections of your country called? I know one of them lost his job.
Anyway, doesn't matter.
I don't know if they're a version of senators or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I know at least one of them lost his job over it. He pushed it in his he was in the right wing district and he backed it even though he knew he was going to lose his thing on it. So yeah.
I find it so strange with you Americans. Like the one thing I do really like is how patriotic a lot of you still are. I think that's good. I think it's good to kind of love your country. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I do find really hard to relate to, I guess, is like the Constitution and your rights and your freedom of speech, where you're kind of like, no, we've given these things certain names and certain positions in our society. Therefore, they are these extreme things that we have that nobody else has. And I'm like, I'm sure every country has their own version of pretty much most of those things, right? They just don't make a big deal of it. They're like, yeah, no, that's just our rules that we follow in our country. And you're like, no, the First Amendment is this. And you're like, no, yeah, sure, whatever. Like our Second Amendment. Can you name all of the amendments? Like,
nobody, dude. No, that's what's fucked,
No,
dude.
okay.
Let's be honest. Yeah. Like, I know a handful. Aren't
amendments supposed to be amended as well as when you find better things?
Yeah, that's what's what's funny is the 18th Amendment banned alcohol, then the 21st brought it back. So it's like we literally two of our amendments knock each other out.
Yeah.
And I only remember which one those are because 18 and 21, they were first drinking age, second drinking age. And then
so I kind of look at your opinions on freedom of speech and your the amendments and all that on the same line of kind of patriotism in terms of I think you're just kind of like no, that's what it is to be American, is to have these things or to follow these things rather than actually what it gives you, the right to bear arms and all that other shit.
I have a weird view on all that because I use them just because I'll be like, hey, the First Amendment, because I think they're the ones I always mention are the ones I think are important. Second Amendment, I couldn't give a fuck about. So it's I'm going to be totally honest with you.
The ones you can use, yeah, for sure.
Right, I'm totally honest with it. I don't just these people wrote this shit fucking forever ago, and when we had fucking slaves. So and obviously that was one of the amendments.
The good old days.
But what I'm getting at is they don't know everything. The Second Amendment was written before fucking guns. You know what I mean? They had fucking muskets. So, but I believe in free speech just to my core, not because it's the First Amendment, but because I think people should be able to say whatever the fuck they want and protest against their government. I think that's very important.
But the people that talk about the First Amendment, the only distinction between ours and the in UK, what is it, the Free Speech Act, which guarantees the same the speech rights.
That's the funny thing.
Yeah.
That's the funny thing. I don't fucking know. Most of us don't know. It's such a big deal in your country that even I assume like Joey C could kind of mention a few things about these amendments or whatever. We just go, I don't know, like just don't be a dickhead.
Yeah. Well, the only difference is you don't have your journalists aren't covered in the way that they're supposed to be here, but I feel like that's going to be gone soon. But everyone here's a hypocrite about it anyway.
Oh, huge. Yeah. It's like they ask like Trump saved the First Amendment. Literally, Trump a million times has been like anyone that burns the American flag should spend 1 year in prison, which
Also,
is
like,
against the First Amendment. You know,
if somebody like says that he looks fat in a picture, that he like sues the parent company and
yeah. So it's all like, yeah, and like they all preach about the Constitution, but Ekul's right. Like, how many people know the whole fucking, like, almost nobody, you know?
I don't either.
I don't either.
No,
yeah.
And I find it mad that people kind of swear like they will kind of maybe risk their life even to like protect their rights to these amendments or whatever, or to their rights or all that shit. And I'm kind of like, but every other country has to some degree the exact same thing as you, and they're like, no, you don't have freedom of speech. It's like, okay, maybe that's the one thing where you have a stronger defense of it, you know, legally or what have you. But everything else, we're just like, it's not that deep. Like,
no.
Whereas
They're
like
not
the
even,
norm, yeah.
They're just expressing a tribal instinct that if you ask any follow-up questions about any of those things, that there's nothing there.
Okay, good. Yeah, I assumed as much. I assumed a majority of Americans were bluffing when they're like, hey, we have all of these things. We have these amendments. We're proud. That's because we're Americans. I'm like, okay, but you don't really know everything about it, right? So no,
I used to go around interviewing people in the South that like the scarier or the more like, you know, Confederate, the better. And like they would kind of talk about those values and ideals, but when you really sit with them for an hour over beers, like the thing they really care about is like there's like a pothole or the infrastructure. Like that's really they'll give you specific examples of where there's like a pothole on the street or like a speed.
So I was gonna say to Nick earlier, I said I'd give him a little bit of a spoiler. So as much as I like to bust your balls with all your politics shit, when it comes to my voting history, I've only ever voted Labour, which is our lefty party, which is our, you know, let's look after the poor, let's all do it. So as much as my personal beliefs might be like at times a little bit jaded with certain things, whenever I've voted, I do tend to side with the one which I feel is, you know, air quotes, nicer or fairer or what have you. But again, if I was a millionaire, you know what? I probably wouldn't be voting for him. So
yeah, that's fair. Like I always wondered how I would be if I was like came from a rich family and didn't have to work and all this shit. I don't know how it'd be, you know. I came from fucking poor family, so that sucks. But
we have an expression in the UK, which is maybe just by people who are conservative. So you got Labour and you got Tories, yeah. So Labour, good guys, Nick, they're your guys. And then Tories, boo, bad guys, Trump, yeah. So they go, if you're not Labour in your 20s, you're heartless. If you're not Tory by your 40s, you're brainless.
They say the same thing here.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's true. As I get older, I do kind of go, oh, yeah, I wish we weren't focusing so much on these fucking people who aren't remotely helping my scenario.
But that should be discouraged.
I'm gonna grab a drink.
yeah, I was gonna say I used to work with this guy. Remember he was like young, like 20 or early 20s when Ron Paul was doing all his fucking shit, and he was getting all the young guys, and we'd have like these discussions, and we'd agree on a lot of shit, like socially and stuff like that. And he ended up moving to Vegas and starting his own business, like party bus business, and he does well for himself. And now he's just like a neocon, you know what I mean? Because now he's got like a good business and whatever, and he doesn't like care about all that shit anymore. So it's
all of those Ron Paul people became they were inevitably going to go back to just neocon stuff. Then they became Trump supporters, and then they'll be pro-war, they'll be anti-war. It's just whoever expresses their tribal identity. And yeah, but Ron Paul at least like opened them. I was living in South Carolina during that, and he really opened them up to at least thinking about war in terms of
Right, right.
the human cost of it. For like, he brought up the casualties in other countries as part of his argument, and not just a libertarian argument. And that was the first time I heard rednecks start talking like that.
Yeah, he's probably a huge reason why, we're seeing Tucker versus Ted Cruz type shit. They're seeing the little divide on the right wing for once.
They're all like acting very confused because no one's admitting it. But I mean, they're just making libertarian arguments about
Right,
foreign
right,
policy.
right. That's all they're doing. Yeah.
Like, wow, this is some new thing that Bannon's doing or whatever. It's like, no, he's just kind of saying what Ron Paul said, except being more hard on immigration.
So this is a stupid scenario, yeah, but let's just go with it.
Well, you are a pineapple. So.
Hey, come on. Okay. Stop discriminating against me.
No, I love
right.
pineapples.
If you had a scenario where your government went, look, everyone's kicking off about giving aid to these countries, and everyone's kicking off about us going to war in countries and interfering and, selling arms to countries and, whatever. If they went, you know what, we're going to stay out of all of it. Yeah, we're going to not help all the countries like we've notoriously done for decades and decades, but we're also not going to get involved in other countries' stuff. We're not going to be selling weapons to countries, or giving weapons to countries either. We're just going to completely remove ourselves from there. Do you think the majority of people would just be like, sure, fine, take it, just remove yourself entirely? No, you'd rather help people and fuck with people, because you're gonna have to do that.
Not me, but like even like now, like
personally, but yeah.
Yeah, but like if you look at the polling about this Iran thing, like it feels like everyone is against it, but it's like when you frame those, like the polling, the majority of Americans support that a strike on Iran. But if you ask them that question with slightly different words, then they don't. But I guess my point is, all you have to do is just make one lie up, and they'll all be on board. So I don't think that people would vote for that. I feel like this is the litmus test right now here, because the Republican Party is supposed to be anti-war, but I don't know. I think there are a lot of people just want to blow up foreigners.
Right, but the problem that you have is, like the example I was trying to give, was if you're helping certain countries, you're normally doing that kind of at the expense of other countries, yeah? So, for example, like helping Ukraine, you're fucking with Russia, yeah, or what have you. Like maybe that's an easier example than any others. Helping Israel, you're fucking over Gaza or whatever the fuck. Anyway, do you not think that it would be better just to kind of completely remove yourself? Because whatever you do, you're fucking with some country, right? And you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm with Ava. I personally, if I'm conservative on anything, it's probably, or not as liberal on the helping the countries. Like I don't like it being used as an excuse, but yeah, I would take just taking our nose out of everything. But Ava's right. Like this so easily manipulated. Like whoever's president, not even Trump. Just say Trump. They'd be like,
that's why the question was there, because it would remove that, right? Because you wouldn't be able to say, well, we got to do this because we're helping here, or we got to do this.
No, I don't even think that's the helping. It's the like, if anyone goes, well, so and so, this Muslim country hates us. They want to. It's like, there's too many Americans that get like a hard on over fucking blowing up fucking, Islamic countries and shit like that. It sucks.
But I didn't answer, I guess, for me personally, because I think maybe that's what you were actually asking. I think that I feel like I don't have the credibility to fully make a good argument. I think I used to feel like I did about not about imperialism and just like these wars. And there was something that we all had to think about during the first Trump administration, where thinking about like, having someone like Mattis or somebody in there to keep things from going too out of hand. I don't like Mattis, but it made me think about what could happen and like who could become powerful. And I think there's a lot of parts of geopolitics that I just don't know. And maybe there's an argument you have to accept there. I feel like it's out of hand with the wars that we get ourselves into, but to keep this world, if we didn't do it, the counter argument is somebody else would. That could be worse.
Yeah.
And so therefore, like I don't have like a strong take on it.
I think personally, like, it's bullshit because it was kind of a loaded question anyway. Because you guys make a fortune. You make a fortune through selling and building guns, weapons, tanks, all that shit. So it would never. Obviously,
We don't make that money though.
No, yeah, but I think it's an understated thing, keeping out of other people's businesses, because you do kind of have a bit of a messiah complex, and I'm sure we have it or had it to a certain degree, where you're kind of like, no, we lead the world. You're the leader of the free world, right? Your president is the most powerful person in the entire world. It was at one point what people would say. We would stop and pay attention to who the next president is of the United States of America.
Let's be honest though, like it's over for us as like a leading, like it's a declining empire.
You've had your empire for sure
already,
and it was a great empire. It was great.
Actually, Ekul, let me ask you this:
I can't wait for China to take over.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Liquid.
No, I was actually going to ask him. I'll get back to it. I'm trying to figure out how he's reading it. Like, I think he's against helping Israel. I don't know if he's saying the rest of the country isn't or whatever. I don't know.
It's hard to.
I think he's saying,
that's why I was yelling at him during that. I was like,
I'm
sorry. That's why I was yelling at Liquid, because it was like he would back off and then kind of defend the Israel, and then I was like, what? Sorry.
Yeah, that's something we usually agree on. So yeah, that was a weird one. But,
what happened in Great Britain where like Piers Morgan suddenly just did a like, and it seems like after talking to officials in the UK government, like where they just were like, this Palestine thing is BS.
What's that? Something about Piers Morgan and then.
Yeah, what happened in the UK where suddenly they were like, fuck Israel?
It's weird, isn't it? Because our Labour Party are notoriously anti-Semitic. That's why. So you think, if anything, I think they are genuinely. That's like one of the kind of things against them. Apparently, is they apparently hate Jews, which is bizarre. Yes, I don't know. It did kind of come out. It did feel like it came out of nowhere a little bit. That we're like, no, Iran, fuck off. It's cool. All right.
I just realized I did that thing where Nick had set up a clip and I derailed it. So
we're good.
If you want to refocus to Jimmy Dore, we can. Sorry.
All right, we'll just finish Jimmy, then this will be the end of it. Let's see. We got Jimmy. Fast forward Jimmy. I even cheated. I took 2020 Jimmy before he was a fucking nut job.
Yeah.
Back when he was actually, I remember watching this today because I was trying to look for this one because I remember he showed a bunch of shit. He was fucking more anti-police than fucking me back then.
That's who he really is.
Yeah, he's just like sold out.
Yeah, he's dead inside, and he
he said some anti-vaccine pro-Trump shit. His viewership like doubled, and he just ran with it.
Audience capture. He has no ideology anymore. He just is doing it for the money.
Nope.
And the people are like, what the fuck are you doing? The cops came into their neighborhood and caused a riot. Can you imagine if you looked out your front door and you saw...
Wait, Ekul, who caused the riot? The cops?
What, according to this man, the cops?
According to this right-winger, this Trump-supporting right-winger? Yeah.
According to this man that you're telling me is this shit.
Throwing people around, hitting them with clubs, breaking shit. That's what the cops are doing. And again, this is my favorite video of the day. Watch this.
Jimmy, 4 years ago, we went to the conventions.
And we were in Cleveland.
Shut up, Jimmy's wife.
She's a fucking cunt.
Yeah. He tells a story how they did the same thing to him, like in Cleveland or something like that at the Republican National Convention. All right, here's I just want to get to the is this the one with fucking Indiana? No. This is Nebraska. So this is Trump country right here.
Of silence for George Floyd, but it will not end at 9 p.m. because the police have come and instigated with their presence and use of tear gas. You want to see some of the video? Here's some of it. This is in Omaha. Cops are tear gassing people. These are the whitest of white people in the world. Oh, did you see that white woman just walk by and go, pig? The white people are calling the cops pigs in Omaha, Nebraska. That's
for you, Ekul. That's Hickville. That's usually where the right wing fucking Republicans are and everything. So.
Nick, can you stop discriminating against people?
I'm just
based
telling you,
on
because you're not
things they
American.
can't
You
do?
don't know what Omaha, Nebraska is.
Please see them as human beings, not just statistics.
Let's discriminate more.
Wants to get the guy's badge number. So the cop decides, well,
Oh, this one. I remember this one. This sucks because the dude turns the camera. So the cop grabs the guy's phone or whatever and throws it. Then the dude cold cocks the cop and fucking runs. But they like miss the punch, but you see the cop like out cold.
can do whatever I want to you. Because look,
I got other cops
I
around
got
me.
tear gas, I got cops around me, I got a gun, I got Kevlar, I got a helmet, and I look like a badass. And I'm feeling strife. I'm feeling like I could almost get an erection again. So that's what that guy's feeling like. And so watch what he does. So he takes the guy's camera and throws it right in his face. This guy does that because he's got all his buddies around him. So he's a real tough guy now because you would never do that to this guy in real life.
And by the way, I'm allowed to know your name and your badge number.
That's right.
I'm allowed to know that.
That's right. So watch what this guy does. You don't see it. The camera goes away for a second, but you can put it together what he does. Watch this. He fucking knocked that cop out. He fucking knocked that cop out. You want to see it again? Fucking knocked that cop out.
See, Ekul, that's an American hero right there. That's. I would never have the. No, I would never have the balls to do that. I fully admit.
God.
If you're gonna be at the protest, like it's better if you just knock the cop out than like if you just stand there and act like it's gonna not go like poorly. If you're gonna do it, do it. You know, I would never do it.
No.
I don't even want to. I don't want to do it, but.
I think listen to what you're saying here, yeah. And then listen to what you were saying about an hour ago when you're like, these poor people at the protest, they got pushed over by a police officer. It's like, no, fuck around, find out. That cop fucked around, he found out, yeah. And that old fuck earlier who got pushed over by the cop, he fucked around and he found out. That veteran earlier, he fucked around, he found out. You're all getting yourself involved in this shit. The police officers, at least they're getting paid for it. Well, no, you guys get paid for it as well, right, Nick?
Yeah, George Soros gives me money. Yeah.
True.
I would never even know who the fuck the dude was. All right, this is just the last one. This is like in Hickville, Indiana, where literally the cops are bored. They just throw like a fucking tear gas thing. Some dude has like a little fucking Razor scooter. He goes to pick it up because he drops it, and the guy just like maces the guy just for no reason.
I've been to Omaha, Nebraska, plenty. I've been to I've been everywhere. All these cities, I've been to all of them, and I've been to Fort Wayne at least a half a dozen times.
Can I ask you a question before you do
The last
this?
thing they need is riot cops in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't even know if they have. I think that's the traffic light.
Can you do me a favor and clarify for bootlickers something? And between
The difference
it's hard
is
for the
woman taking care of her. They assaulted her and escalated the violence, which is the exact opposite of what you want. If that was your mother, is that how you want them to handle it? If that was your sister, what if she's having a fucking schizophrenic episode? That's how you want them to handle it? So the difference between that and then this other situation is that cop is the guy in control. The cop was the guy in control. The cop's got all his cop friends. He's the tough guy. He's the guy being paid to be there to serve them. You see, it's totally different. That woman's a random citizen who might have some problems. This guy's a cop given the authority. So when cops are given the monopoly on violence, you understand what that means? That they're allowed to, like if you're walking down the street and you see cops hitting someone, you're not going to go, oh my God. You're going to go, well, that guy must have did something. They haven't. But if they weren't cops and you saw somebody hitting someone, you would go, oh my God, we got to stop it. We got to do something. Because cops are given the monopoly on violence. They're allowed to use violence. And they're given a gun. And with that comes huge responsibilities. Huge. One of them is you don't assault a guy who's filming you. Another one is you don't instigate violence. That's what those cops were doing. That's what that cop did when he took his phone and threw it. That's the difference. It's not that hard to understand. It's hard to understand if you're embracing your inner racist and you're watching Sean Hannity. And you're a fucking bootlicker, and you don't understand that cops are fucking.
So he's making some good points, to be fair. Some of his comments are pretty good. With regards to the comment about the phone when antagonizing violence or whatever, because you definitely have that on the other side. Because right, let me get it fucking right. Ava.
Yes.
Because I want to. Yes, Ava. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit dumb, so I just need to stick in med.
I'm dumber.
Okay.
It's okay.
When I was saying earlier, you kind of understand. You go into these places, they're antagonizing. Like most likely on both sides, but that's the whole point. You push. They react. Brilliant. Got that on camera, and also look where the victim's here, and look, you're the person in power. You've done that. So when he's kind of saying, well, yeah, you threw the phone out. Yeah, bad. Like yellow card. You shouldn't do that. Obviously, you are kind of like misusing your power. You're being a dickhead. You're trying to be like, I've got the power here. Fuck off. Get that phone out of my face. But then if it was flipped and they're kind of like getting in the face of police officer, getting in the face, they're like, I'm not touching you. Can't do me for it. And then they hit you with mace or something. You're going to be like, look at that brutality. And it's like, yeah, both sides, right?
That's, if I may, to
go ahead.
partially defend the cops on this and make a small racial statement, mild, that in my experience, the white people that are like him and in the faces of those police officers, like it's not like the Black Lives Matter speakers that spoke earlier. It's people like him that spit in cops' faces and are really annoying. And and people like me privately are like, oh, you don't represent me. I can understand why sometimes a cop would be like, yeah, and just punch him in the face. Like, wouldn't you punch Jimmy Dore in the face if he was just trying to like establish that he has control and power?
Jimmy, yeah.
I think honestly, there's nothing more patronizing or racist than no offense, Nick, a white person standing up for the poor minorities who can't do anything for themselves. They need the white man to come along and show them how it's done. And
no, I agree.
Right. Every example you've given me today of nearly every example, I think everyone has been some white person asking for it. Yeah,
no.
Stay at home. Stay at home. Shut the fuck up. Let people do their protests if they want to do it, and then get on with your lives.
When I went to those BLM protests here because I was just trying to. Everyone had different like takes of it on the news. I was like, I just wanted to see what was happening. It would be like these speakers that had these very organized speeches that they were black, and they would be done by about 8. And then there'd just be a bunch of obnoxious white people that just like are trying to act like they care. Yeah. There'd be no black people there, and they'd just be spitting in cops' faces and just throwing shit at them till 3 or 4 in the morning. And it's like I feel like we have to be honest about. I feel like we have to be honest about that because they hurt the movement, and then it reflected on.
I think so.
On the BLM movement for the people that were just had these organized speeches and had an event. Until 8:30, and they were that was peaceful, but none of those black people were there for the most part. That when it would get like this, and all those people were like Jimmy Dore, just yelling at cops' faces and insulting them and spitting in their faces, and then saying, but then being shocked when the cops react. And it's like if you take like 500 protesters, there's going to be like 3 that or 4 or 5 or 10, whatever. If you take that many cops, there's just going to be some people that are just like, I gotta punch this guy in the face. He just, I'm just saying, I don't know how to resolve that, but I understand.
I think it was during one of the Kyle Rittenhouse videos. There was a black guy documenting everything, and he's like, when all that shit started going down, he was one of the only black people left. He literally mentioned that it's supposed to be Black Lives Matter, but there's hardly any black people here anymore.
Well, Nick. To be fair, all the black people were rioting and breaking into shops down the street.
That's the other side of town.
Dude, I'll be honest. I know my personal problem is I don't like. I never got in the cops' faces. I never said shit to them. But I don't take too kindly to curfews. It's like something that just goes up my ass sideways. With these armed people telling me I got to get off my fucking street at like fucking 10 o'clock at night or whatever. So
if you've got a gun, I'm gonna go home and go for a nap. I'll be honest.
I'm not even arguing against what you're saying, Nick. But like, what do they do then if people are up and like destroying buildings and because like when that was happening, like it kept people awake at home. Like I would be woken up by it, and the cops were also partially responsible for that. But what do you do then when it's just chaos like that to get them to stop?
No, you're right. You're right. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I always wanted to ask you about that since you were from there. everything I saw was, and then like the one bad protest I ever went to was in Boston, I think like in May, end of May or early June 2020. Like my section, it seemed like the cops started it. Now, granted, I have no idea if there were assholes starting shit in another section of the protest, you know. And then some people reacted badly by taking their frustration out on destroying property, which, right, you can't let them do that. I think there were also some protests where they kind of instigated them to destroy property and then sort of let them destroy the property. Like, it didn't really seem like they were stopping them. So
That's one of the times that I went. I saw like an informant. He definitely was an informant, and he threw a brick through the window of this shoe store near me, and that was one. And that time I was like, all right, I can see how this all just falls apart because everybody like flocked once that happens because of So there's a lot of like that. Enrique Torre, January 6th guy. He was a Fed informant there, but he was also here because he was coming and instigating a lot of those protests with the Patriots Prayer people. So yeah, it goes both ways. But I feel like we can't have that conversation in this country because the police, I was like weird because I felt like I disagreed with my friends here in Portland because I've lived in states where cops are very escalatory, but the cops here are not. Like
they're not
in South Carolina, no, they really. I've been pulled over and they're respectful. You feel it when and I'm brown, but I understand that black people have a different experience. I just haven't seen that. But like in South Carolina,
Don't worry, you don't look too brown. It's fine.
Okay. It's because I don't go out in the sun ever. But I'm supposed to be.
Oh, me neither.
But yeah, but like in South Carolina, cops are very escalatory, and just every time you get into a car, there's speed traps and they're pulling people over here, and they don't do that here. And I think it's worth recognizing that police departments throughout this country are very different. And when we try to have these generalized conversations, not you guys, but when people are assessing these like the police thing, it's like they're so different in different states. Like I cannot tell you how different it is to just be a person that drives a car here versus South Carolina or Boston when I lived there. And Boston, the cops were like that too. I've seen them pick fights. They've tried to pick a fight with me once when I was just walking, but no cops here do that. So it's hard to,
Yeah, I've even noticed the difference between Boston cops and like Rhode Island or Providence cops the Providence cops aren't nearly as bad as the fucking Boston cops are. So yeah.
And people it's like, I think it's interesting that if you notice, Portland hasn't been in the news for any of these since, and it's because those Patriot Prayer people, they were instigating these things into becoming that. And we also had like real police reform here that was serious that the police were involved in, and so that's just not as fun of a story. But quietly we kind of have a better situation here. But yeah, so I don't know how to resolve any of it. I'm stupid.
Yeah, no, it's that's something I will agree with Ekul, like especially with the guns and everything. I don't have no answer to that shit, man. We're almost too far gone when it comes to some of this stuff.
Yeah, you are. No, honestly,
we're too far gone.
You're way too far gone. Like, there's no scenario that I can see.
There's no point.
Yeah.
Like literally the majority.
It would have to be an actual proper civil war, and
yes,
that would be
like the majority of this country is in favor of universal background checks, which is the most basic common sense gun reform, and we don't have it.
Because we cannot have nice things here. We cannot have those discussions. It's all over.
All right, I'll just
even with that, Nick, though, don't you still have like I wouldn't know numbers, but probably like 500 million guns, something stupid? Don't you have like a ridiculous amount of guns?
We have more guns than people. I know that. Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter if you had that, because even if you had that in place, sure, now you can only buy 50 million guns because there's 50 million people that'd be like, yeah, I'll sell you a gun.
And that's part of the reason why it'll never happen, is because so many people know that. They're like, well, no, because some people are gonna have guns, and I'm gonna need a gun if they have a gun.
All right, this thing's almost over. Then I'll just end this. But this one's almost more comical, so a good way to go out.
Yeah.
Criminal assholes. If you don't understand that, go fuck with some cops and see what happens to you.
Thanks for the clarification.
So here's what happened in South Bend. Watch this. South Bend. There's their one traffic light. They're all dressed like they're taking over Fallujah. They've got nothing to worry about. There's nothing happening. But the cops, they have weapons, so they want to use them. They've been giving these weapons like these flashbangs. Oh my God, how much? I wish I had a flashbang. How much fun would that be? I love blowing off fireworks. So watch what they do. Completely peaceful protests. Nobody's doing nothing. Watch this. Broad daylight. Watch this. So do you see what the cops just did? Yeah. Cop just threw a flashbang. Did you see that?
Yep,
just
entertainment.
Just to entertain themselves, to fuck with people.
From the second line.
So he's throwing. That looks like tear gas. And now, now they're macing people. Why? And then that guy. Why is he macing that guy? Why are you macing? They're just assaulting people. There's nothing happening. It's Fort Wayne. Do you see how there's nothing happening? Do you see?
Yeah, jackasses. Right, Ekul? Fucking jackasses.
He's such a douchebag. Like, he literally just as passionately argues the opposite viewpoint.
Yeah.
You know? Like the direct opposite of that.
That was my little inside joke when Ekul's like, you need right wingers. I'm like, all right, Jimmy Dore's super right wing, but I'll find something from 5 years ago when he wasn't fucking right wing, when he was saying the right fucking shit. Now he sucks Trump's fucking balls.
It's so gross. He's such a just you know.
He's a comic. He should go in the Dabbleverse. He probably see if he knows Chad.
Comic.
We don't have comics in the Dabbleverse. Come on.
Jimmy's not fun. Even when I like Jimmy, I tried watching his stand-up once. It was fucking terrible.
So bad. He's such a hack. He's such a hack.
There was a documentary. He might actually know Chad because I've heard Chad talk about that Florida comedy condo, and I watched like a documentary thing where they were showing this condo in Florida where all these comics stayed, and Jimmy Dore was in the fucking thing. So, yeah, it was interesting.
Jimmy's got a drinking problem though.
Yeah,
it's starting to really show.
He gained all those followers when he like sold out. Now he's like stuck. Like he doesn't gain shit. He's like been stuck at like 1.5 million or whatever for like ever.
Well, if you notice,
only
Yeah,
1.5 million. What a loser.
I know. I got 120 something. Fucking loser.
I think
Not
that a lot of
me.
those were bought by that. Like he gets funded by like the same people that originally were funding Dave Rubin, where their brand was, here's a leftist that agrees with us on this, and they slowly. Yeah.
It's kind of like they do with Bill Maher, where they're like, "Oh, here's a lefty that agrees with us." I'm like, "Yeah, he's a fucking asshole now. That's why."
I hate him.
Anybody got any final words, plugs? Ekul, why don't you plug something?
Sure, no problem. I'm going to plug Israel. Go Israel. Sorry. I'm all good, pal. Thanks for having me on. Make sure everyone catches us tomorrow. Me and Nick, we're going to be between two hacks, right, mate? Watching clips. Should be fun.
Yeah.
3:30 Eastern.
Thanks for
Lovely
joining
to
me.
meet lovely meeting you, Ava. Thank you for
You as well. Absolutely.
Thanks
No, you're great.
Thanks for coming on. I was only trying to protect you from this asshole, but
I'm sorry.
He's an awesome guy. I just didn't like. I should have known because you have a good sense of humor. I just wanted you to know it wasn't going to be our usual all-out fucking battle. So that's all.
Well, I was worried because I was listening. I was agreeing with him more than.
I have that. I think it's the Luigi. It's the not Greenberg. It's the Luigi. Holy shit! I'm blanking on his last name.
Murderer.
Yeah, it's
murderer.
I have that in me, man. Like there was a story that came out after that literally the board members of United Healthcare are pissed off because they haven't rejected as many claims since he killed the CEO. So it actually worked, and I was like, maybe we need a little more of those.
I didn't take a position on vigilante justice. I was what you guys were talking about, but
no, I just mean like
honestly, this is my fucking bugbear with Nick, right? You're such a fucking piece of shit. If you're kind of like, no, like go around killing people, that's fine because it suits what benefits me or what I believe in. It's like that's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
But the healthcare industry, a lot of your positions are from the luxury of being in Great Britain.
Yeah, Mr. Universal Healthcare.
You have no idea what that man...
doesn't matter where I live. Doesn't matter where I live. I will never, ever justify murdering someone because
allegedly
they're a CEO of company. No.
Well,
no,
that
murdering
CEO
someone.
that CEO
No.
made
Give a
millions
fuck.
in dollars in bonuses.
Oh, I've had this
justifying
fight with him, Adam.
murdering
I've
people.
had this
Yeah.
fight with
Okay.
him.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down real quick then before I go. So he is okay to be killed, yeah, because he was in charge. He made the most money. That's fine. Okay. So then the people on the board as well who make the same decisions, they should all be fine to get killed as well. Yeah. And then all of the regional managers who report directly to them, they should be killed.
Nah,
as well.
they're
No, not them. Not
And
them.
then and then what about all the
See, we got a
supervisors
line.
that are
We got a
underneath them?
line.
No, bullshit.
This is like when
Absolute
this is like
bullshit.
when Michael Bloomberg was running. He's like, I don't understand why they're mad at the bankers. They show up 9 to 5. They make $40,000 a year. They're good citizens. And it's like, no, you idiot. We're not talking about the people that work at the bank. We're talking about like you guys, like the CEOs. It's not the.
See you later.
It's not. Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
I'm not advocate. I'm just saying like that's a different subject ethically than what y'all were talking about earlier.
Honestly, I lost so much respect for Nick when he said that, because I was just like, that's such a stupid fucking stance to come from. And I've spoke to Nick, so I know.
No, it's not. It's not.
It really is. It's really.
No, I
it's
think
really
even
callous.
here, I think even living
That's
here,
really callous.
I think even living here, it like unless you really spend time on it, like you don't realize like how that insurance system works and how they write off death that often. It is it should at least be a morally ambiguous issue for you, because if people are that powerless and this person is responsible, they are responsible for. He gets to that position because he's cold enough to like write off human beings.
Do you have one insurance company in the? Is there one in America? That's one company. Yeah, you've only got the one, and he's in charge of that one.
No,
but
there's loads. Okay.
The ethics of that though is his company makes it so the other 5 major companies all do the same practices. He's I don't know. He's responsible for more deaths than Luigi is.
I'll just say this, Ekul, as far as the companies. I work for a major company. I actually have decent health insurance, but I have no choice. They're like, this is the company you get, and you pay for this for it. I don't get a choice.
I hope your company screws someone over. Yeah. And I hope someone comes into your office and shoots you in the back.
I'm not CEO, dude. I'm not fucking doing nothing.
Oh, sorry, you're not as successful as he was.
Yeah, I'm not killing people.
But if your success is predicated,
nobody's killing people in my company, man.
If your success is based on your ability to be so heartless that you can like get massive profits for an insurance company, like I feel like you can't. That's not the same thing.
But where do we take it? Because there's pharmaceuticals as well. Kill them as well, right? The people in charge of pharmaceuticals, because they're bastards. Look at all the people you got with drug problems in your countries. Kill them as well.
I feel like we should jail. I feel like they should. I feel like they should be. No. Let's do no.
They should get killed.
No. The pharmaceutical people, like we could just jail them, but the execution for the health insurance, huh? Well, who?
People in charge of fast food, they're killing people with that as well.
I don't need fast food to live. I need my health insurance.
Who else?
I really think you should explore like the ethics of the healthcare guy.
The longest conversation I've ever had with this guy was over this shit.
I'm never having ethics from people who justify murdering people.
But you're defending someone that justifies murdering.
Yeah, he told me he's good at his
job. In this country just for getting sick. Just for getting sick.
So what? Sure. So why aren't you lot out protesting that right now instead of Black Lives Matter and all that shit?
I've been critiquing the
I'm not protesting BML.
No. Go out and protest it instead.
I just told you. I just defended the cops beating up.
You don't think we haven't protested?
I don't think it's an efficient. Like
Nick. Well, funnily enough, no one seems to care enough for it to be news, mate. From what I can see,
in the news. No, right now they're doing the fucking Trump shit. But yeah, no.
Do you not
murderers? You're all murderers.
Did you read the undercurrents after that guy got shot, where these companies were like they changed their healthcare policies because they all got scared?
Yeah.
Would you not say that if like 4 CEOs got shot, that maybe like people would have not get killed for getting sick and being poor?
Yeah, that sets a great precedence. So if you want to
what's this precedent?
Go.
This precedent is if I just put a suit on and put it into a spreadsheet, it's okay to kill people.
That was my point on all of it. It was okay. Yeah, I made videos on this. Yeah. No, like I made.
I don't think it's the exact same with regards to that. And
I understand when you just look at.
You can go into the arguments and you could say, look, I think what they're doing is like illegal. Maybe like, I don't think it is, but maybe like those laws need changing or what have you.
It's
No,
not
it's not
illegal.
illegal. You know what is illegal? Shooting someone in the back of the head.
And that's
That
wrong.
is illegal.
That's wrong.
Well,
That's not illegal.
That's wrong.
That is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, at least in his case, like it was only like 20 seconds. A lot of people slowly die of cancer because they can't get their insurance to cover it. So they watch their parents just become decrepit and just fray away. That's almost the worst murder, isn't it?
Avi, you want to hear something funny? You know, you both know all too well my super long DMs I send. Well, Ekul's usually a lot shorter than me, and the first time when I spoke out in favor of Luigi, it's the only time he sent me like DMs like the size of the ones I fucking send. He was like totally disgusted with me. So we got on a back and forth for like hours. Yep, that's the day he lost whatever respect he had.
I went through a phase of that personally. I didn't speak out about it, like where I felt like this is not something everyone should be proudly, being happy, like celebrating. But I've changed my mind on that. And I agree with Nick.
I just hope that it catches a trend that you have lots of people getting murdered by these vigilantes, and that it does what you want it to do, to force through changes, not through the measures that you want your political parties to take, but through certain people's deciding.
Yeah, they won't do it, dude, because
the right thing to do.
They're
This is the right thing to do based
on
what I say. One person.
I
I'm
believe
going to do this.
But I believe that me and Nick, as Peace Nicks, have a counter proposal to that, which is non-violent, which is Medicare for all.
Yep. They won't do it.
And if not,
nobody has to
kill
die.
you. We'll fucking kill you if you don't give it to us. All right, we're gonna kill every last one.
They're
of you
killing
motherfuckers.
us for money. For money, they're killing us.
I can't convince him.
Yeah.
I tried.
I've already had it, but yeah.
I
anyway,
tried.
Meet us halfway and just agree that we should have the same thing you have, which is single payer health care.
Oh, obviously, that's not that's the problem though.
Okay,
that's not the same thing whatsoever. 100% agree.
It's a complex
you should
problem.
Have treatment. Yeah, but the solution isn't a simple solution. Funnily
One
enough.
side has more mass casualties.
or a final.
One
final
side has
solution.
more mass casualties under their belt, and me and Nick are critical of that side.
Well, we have NHS and we have private. So,
Liquid.
yeah,
I mean,
that's the point.
I would say single payer. I think we probably agree on this. I just said
Yeah,
Medicare
single
for all
payer is
because-
fine. Right.
Yeah.
It's what we have written, proposed, and everything. It's the quickest thing we could do if they ever decide to do it, but they never will. So,
But according to Ekul, as long as you just wear a suit and wear a stupid like what is that? A fleece, then you know what? It's not bad when you kill people. As long as you're getting rich from it.
You're never in a million years gonna justify shooting someone in cold blood, unfortunately. Sorry. As much as you go, aren't they kind of doing the same thing? Nope, they're doing it in a completely different way, and it might be horrendous and it might be terrible, but no, they're not.
Unlike
thing.
the beautiful place where you live, in this country, we are constantly provided with two bad choices, two political parties, and in this case, the Luigi thing, those are two bad choices too, because we can't get single payer healthcare.
You know what though? We've pointed out it's a very complex issue, and bizarrely, it is not a very simple solution. The simple solution
that was my
isn't-
argument.
Just kill him. Like that isn't the solution. And the fact that Nick's like, well, and you, but mainly Nick, because I talk to Nick a lot.
Nick
is
spends
like,
his
no, yeah,
time.
like that's the right thing. It's like I disagree.
Nick spends all of his time advocating. He's a solid leftist for single payer healthcare, and he's just not going to cry when Luigi kills that guy. And I don't think any people in this country that are Trump supporters. People in this country that are Trump supporters were like, I understand why he killed that man.
If Nick said to me, look, I've got zero sympathy for that guy. He was profiting off the misery of others, etc., etc. I'll be like, all right.
Do you see what mask Nick is wearing? Like he's wearing
it's Guy Fawkes one, I believe. Yes, and Nick, just a spoiler alert, but he didn't get away with it. He didn't succeed. He died a painful death.
I never win, man. My guys never win. What are you gonna do?
I love Ekul sitting, or is it Ekul or Ekul? I'm sorry. It doesn't matter.
Don't say
I
the
love you
name
sitting
wrong.
from your perch on all these issues while you have single payer health care and no guns and no school shootings.
Am I supposed to exclude my opinion just because I have a different scenario?
No, of course not. I'm just busting your balls.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah,
Ava, you want to do your plug?
Great
I have a
Britain.
feeling
Great Britain's
that-
amazing. Come
Good.
to Great Britain, everyone. We accept every single type of person, and we will pay for everything for you. So come over.
They did a great thing in Europe, which like the white people here did, which is we just imported a bunch of Mexicans here that we get mad at, so we can have cheap labor. Over there, they did that with my people. Like Pakis are the Mexicans of the European
mistake
Union.
ever. Biggest mistake ever.
I have a feeling that he agrees with you on the CEO thing. He just has to stake this position because it's just
I
fun.
don't no genuinely with regards to like Nick spoke to me about certain things, so I have massive sympathy for certain angles, but saying free Luigi or he shouldn't be in jail, I'm like no, like you're never going to get me on that. You can say a million different things that I could agree with you on with regards to like the ethics and how disgusting the person was or the people who work there are, and you could have me fully on your side. When you say and I'm okay with the solution of physically killing that person, I disagree, and maybe that's why I don't kind of think we don't.
I think maybe it's more. It's like that
over here either, do we? So
I think more it's like that Chris Rock bit about OJ where he's like, I'm not saying he should have killed him, but I understand.
Yep.
Except we are saying he should have killed him, and we're happy he did.
On that note, thank you both for coming.
Thank you. For having me.
Yep. You want to promote your website for the band? Your music?
I want to write some new songs before I promote it because it's
Okay.
been a minute.
All right.
So, but thank you. But I'll always watch Jake Hudson's show. He's a legend. And it was nice to meet you, Pineapple.
Never watched Jake Hudson. Thank you, Ava. It's
Best
lovely
show
to
on earth.
never watched Jake ever, guys. Never watch Jake. Please unsubscribe from Jake. Thank you. Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Always unsubscribe from Jake. Bye. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Stuff, mumbling, pineapple stuff, dabbling, controversial stuff. Now I know y'all be loving this shit right here. NICK mumbling is right here. People in the house, put them hands in the air. Cause if you don't vote, then we don't care. 1, 2, 3 times 2 to the 6. Jonesing for your fix of that dabble politics mix. So where the fudge you at, punk? Shut the fudge up and back the fudge up while we fudge this track up. On your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up, on your flags up. Retort in, now retort out. Hands up now, hands down. Back up, tell me what's in front of ducks now. Republicans in now, Democrats out. Guns up now, hands down. Black up, tell me what you're gonna vote now. Dabbling, 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 dabbling. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. Come on. Keep dabbling, 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 dabbling. 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 You wanna mess with dabbling in politics? You can't mess with dabbling in politics. Listen, we debate it all every week Saturday night, and this YouTube thing right here. Yo, we're doing it all the time, so you better get some better views and get saved up on your dime. So we got the gang set, so don't complain yet. 24/7, never begging for a rain check. Old school dabble is blasting out the political shit. The back and forth shit, put you bounce in the dabble pit.